Sid was laughing at something hilarious.
He was laughing because we kept talking while he was doing the countdown. He was just like, "We're ready to go. We're ready to go."
He should be
just
used to
gonna
that.
go.
We
I'm just
have
gonna
started,
go.
Tom. Can I start?
You can start. You can start.
Hello and welcome to High Rollers.
Loud.
I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes, back from the lovely place of Seattle.
Place.
I was trying to think of the word.
Pike Place.
City. The Pike Place of
Pike
Seattle.
Place.
Yeah.
Joining me this week
It's a giant statue.
Oh,
is...
this boy?
Oh, we'll come back to Big
Oh.
Boy, don't worry.
Oh, backwards.
Oh,
This
this is
way,
very
hello.
backwards. Oh, I'm
Unexpected.
thrown off.
Oh.
Katie Morrison.
Hello.
Tom Hazel. Oh, Sid, you've done it to me.
Fair enough.
We have a Chris Trott and a Rhiannon. Kim will be joining us. She's doing
Currently
something
just
else in the middle.
cheddar.
For the moment, she will just
Currently
be
just cheddar
popcorn. She will be joining
Twins.
us.
It's almost
She's
like
running.
Kim,
She'll
we
probably
bought
be
you
here
cheddar
from the break.
popcorn.
She'll be here on the break.
Hey, Mark, what's that next to you? That is a big boy.
There's a big boy. We'll come to it. We'll talk about him in a minute. I'll say a
okay.
special thank you. But this week's episode of High Rollers, here on the Yogscast Twitch, or over on High Rollers D&D, if you're watching over there. Also, welcome new viewers. If you're watching us after seeing our live game at PAX, welcome. But this week, we are sponsored by the lovely Dungeons & Dragons Beyond, D&D Beyond.
Woo!
Chris Trott, take it away.
I prepared for this.
No, you didn't. You're a liar.
That's great acting.
Every week.
Homebrew
every
games
week.
are very important. I did actually prepare for it. That was a great act.
Okay,
Wow.
well, there we go.
Homebrew games are a very important aspect of tabletop RPGs, aren't they, Mark?
Yep.
Humes. High Rollers
Not easy
is the
saying stuff on camera, is it?
High Rollers is the homebrew fuck you baby of Mark fuck you Sherlock fuck you Humes. Without the flexibility of D&D, we wouldn't be traveling to floating sky islands, talking to dwarves with Southern American accents,
No.
befriending rabbit women, or wielding prism gauntlets.
No, we would not.
Thanks, Tom. D&D Beyond provides
Is this interactive?
a
I
way
don't know.
for the
Yes.
Dungeon Master, yes, and its players to put in homebrew creations of their own. Isn't that right, Rhiannon?
Yeah.
Good. The reason I brought this up is because the dndbeyond.com homepage hosts some really insightful and compelling articles. This is not a joke. This is just nice to know.
Okay.
Articles on the front page that give you ideas on how to play or how to use their tools. For example, which is why I thought about the homebrew thing, they have one on adapting other genres to D&D, where it goes into great detail on how almost anything can be brought into D&D, like classical mythology or cosmic horror. What's cosmic horror? It's in the article. I don't know what that is.
I want to know what
Cthulhu?
that is.
Such as the
could
works
be.
of H.P. Lovecraft and the broader Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
Thank you for that interaction, Mark.
You're welcome.
But I was
Just
right.
one of the many awesome things to check
Fairy
out.
tales, such as the
D&D
Brothers
okay,
Grimm,
fuck you,
Hans
Mark.
Christian
I'm
Andersen.
finished. dndbeyond.com.
Popular games like XCOM.
Yeah, I did a video on that. But yeah, office comedy.
Thanks.
That's a genre which I wouldn't have imagined.
The
going
Office?
into- Yeah.
No,
We talking
nobody.
about The Office
no.
again?
No.
Shut up.
No.
Thank you, Trot. I did actually read a little bit of this article, and there's some cool advice in there. Like,
That's free as well.
yeah. The articles are actually really good. There's a bunch of them by James Hayek.
yeah.
A load of people do stuff on there. They also do an encounter of the week, which I've actually looked at quite a few times, which is really good.
Nice.
Thanks, Chris Trott. That was actually
That was actually
really good.
That was actually competent.
Yeah, well done.
What can I say about all the other ones I've done?
So thank you, D&D Beyond, as always. Thank you for being an amazing sponsor. Thank
I've
you,
just got
Chris
to go,
Trott.
actually.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Dentist.
We love you, really.
I know.
Awkward silence. Thank you very much, D&D Beyond. Always appreciated. Also, they're not a sponsor, but just another big thank you to the Idle Champions team.
Yes.
For taking myself, Katie, and Tom out to Seattle.
It was so good to hang
for
out with
PAX
you guys
West.
again.
It
Also,
was-
they made really cool posters for us.
They did make cool posters and colouring in sheets, which I don't know if we have, which Tom worked very diligently on over the weekend.
They've got some
They
colouring
were really
sheets.
good.
Grab your crayons. Grab the colouring sheets. I don't know how, actually, but
Yeah.
they're great.
The other thing I wanted to say, big thank you to all the community members we met. We met a load of cool people out there. We got some lovely gifts, lovely artwork. Thank you very much. The Penny Arcade team, especially Ryan and Alyssa, for letting us do our very last minute live game on the main stage on Monday, which I believe is now up on the channel, Tom.
Yes.
Yep, so you can go and watch
Well.
that on the YouTube channel.
Or Spotify.
On Spotify,
Yeah.
on
Or
podcasts.
just podcasts in general.
Yeah, podcasts in general. And then also, finally, a big thank you to all the enforcers at PAX, because honestly, one of the best conventions I've been to in terms of friendliness, in terms of like people
the
helping
whole
us out.
overall
About your
vibe,
con.
like all of
Well,
the
that as well.
but all of the
Literally.
attendees were just so much like they were just so lovely.
It was just a really nice
Unlike
outfit.
Yogcon.
No, It felt
Yog's
just
cast
like YogCon,
No,
where
it
it
did.
had
It
that
felt
sort of
really
like
nice.
really communal,
Yeah.
like not just like a big sort of like commercial event. It actually felt like you
Well,
were
it
part of
is
the community.
huge.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it communal sounds impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was really nice.
So yeah, it had a YogCon vibe to it, which
Glad
was
I went.
nice.
And also thanks to
Shut up.
Nate and Erin for joining us on the live show
Yes.
as
Yes.
well. Because that was super
How
awesome.
is Nate? Is he good?
He's doing
He's
good. In
good.
fact, Katie's wearing a new top from his new. Him and Anna have got a merch thing.
Merch
Cantrip.
ship.
Like a nice crop
Merch ship.
hoodie.
Yeah.
It's a nice sort of D&D streetwear kind of brand.
Yeah.
So
Search
cool.
Cantrip.
Search
Cantrip is what it's
Cantrip.
called. And
really
they've got
sweet.
some really, really cool things. I think we all
Speaking
picked up
of
some.
merch.
Okay, interrupt.
Speaking of merch. Speaking of merch, we also have a bunch of our new merch out at the moment. Trot's wearing the new Sorcerer class tee. We also have a Lucius tee out at the moment. You can get those as a bundle over on store.yogscast.com.
But only until tomorrow.
There you go.
Then it's gone.
And it's gone forever.
By the way,
Gone.
this is your last chance. So grab
And
it
it's
now.
the best merch yet from High Rollers, so you should really get it.
There you go. Sure. I actually really like the Sorcerer shirt,
It's-
so
yeah,
I'm not
it's
going to
very
disagree
cool.
with him. So yeah, go and check that out. We also have the
Get
new
it.
High Rollers hat. That's not going anywhere. You can buy that whenever you want.
very cool.
Store.yogscast.com. In terms of merch news, we are working on something pretty exciting in terms of merch. So
Yeah.
we're going to keep you posted on that.
We'll keep you posted.
But yeah, some
Are
like
we?
big cool changes.
We'll keep you posted.
No, hold on.
We'll tell
Are
you
we?
guys in the break.
Yeah. No, he knows.
We're working
Well,
on
he
stuff.
turns.
We're working on stuff.
Stuff and things.
Store.yogscast.com. Use the code HighRollers to get 10% off. Lastly,
Well,
More.
it's September.
It is.
All right, not a lastly then. It's September, which means that new subs on Twitch are 50% off. Why not head on over to High Rollers D&D, sub up to get High Rollers themed emotes.
and while you're at it, you won't get ads during the break where we will be playing another fan music spotlight. This time it's The Cradle by George Paris, and oh boy.
Tom really liked
Boy,
it.
I really, really like it.
Speaking
So-
of fan submitted stuff, we had some fan artwork, but not enough for a fan art video.
How about this? I actually made it. So there is a fan art video.
There you go.
How about this? Fuck
So-
you, Mark.
maybe not during the break, then we'll be listening to that. We'll be watching the fan art instead.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Why not
Maybe
both?
both.
We're a professional
Sid
organization.
will pick the one of the person he likes the most.
Sid.
At the break.
Oh, that's
Sid.
mean.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice.
So enjoy
I
the
don't
fan
wanna
art
be
video
fired.
and the fan music spotlight.
And now, 15 minutes into the episode.
send your stuff to highrollsd&d at
It's been a
gmail.com.
lot to update on. We've had a very busy time.
We're back from PAX. Let's play some D&D.
Play the intro.
D&D.
Play the intro.
Welcome back to Aerois. After discovering that Aerois, royal stave of Gusthaven, was behind the actions of the Wind Barons and the death of Lucius's parents and many other crimes, the party brought him to justice and then went and informed Sky Prince Aradan of their actions. The matter was investigated by Knight Captain Valera and the Sky Prince themselves, and after their interrogation via Zone of Truth, the party were hauled away to be locked up under suspicion until the matter could be thoroughly investigated fully. However, they were found innocent of any wrongdoing, with thanks to some external aid, and were released. Whilst waiting for their judgment, the party were also visited by the vigilante Moonstar, who offered to help in clearing their name. However, Quill, using the power of his new Eye of the Storm, revealed Moonstar to be Adea Elenesto, Lucius's twin sister, who survived the attack on their home and had used her false death to strike back at those responsible.
Moon.
As the party returned to their now ready-to-fly airship, the Stormchaser, a gift from Adea for Lucius, is left on the side, a Magitech device to assist him with his chromatic sorcery. we begin this week's episode. You are all, I believe you are all gathered on the deck, or in the officers' quarters actually, of the Stormchaser. And as you are conversing, you watch Sentry, Lucius, Nova, and the crew as Ayla and Quill just collapse. Their bodies go slack, they just fall to the ground, their bodies limp.
Peace out.
You guys are going to be quiet for a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just panic.
Okay.
Sentry just is like, what is going on?
I'm mimicking Sentry. I'm panicking in my own way as well. What is going on?
Nova is also panicking, and he's like, I don't know. And just
Did you do
flailing
this,
around.
Wolfies?
Kamara looks at you and is like, no, we didn't do this.
Some sort of poison from the earlier encounter? I know some of your people had it in for Ayla.
Listen, I was going to discuss that with you later, but no.
And why the bird as well?
I
Do you
don't
have something against birds? Do you want to eat them?
Well, yes, but not that one. He's human-sized. But look, I don't understand. This is, I don't know. No, it's not us. You hired us. You think we'd do this right away? And you can see that the rest of the crew, Aerois, looks around. Is like, Lucius, I don't think that this is them. They've been working with me diligently on the ship. Like, are you sure that there's
some sort of cleric or something immediately?
She gestures at the rest of you like, Quill is literally the only cleric that I know.
Exactly. That's why we need another one.
You can send for someone, I guess, from the city, but could you, are the three of you not capable of looking into this? You can see that the others around. You do have the doctor on your ship. You do have Greylano, but she is not.
I'm going to check if they're breathing first of all.
Okay. You kneel down. Make a medicine check for me. And Nova will help you, so you can have advantage.
Do you not have dice right
We
now?
literally gave him dice.
Are you kidding me?
We gave him dice.
What?
All
This is
prep.
because Kim's not here.
He can't steal from Kim. Look, Rhiannon's got you covered. There's a dice
Roll a
there.
big boy.
Thank you. 1.
You have advantage because Nova is helping you.
Do you want another one?
I'll try this one. 2.
You get
Jesus.
down, you try and check for their pulse, but you just kind of
Checking
put
their
up
stomach
a
for
face.
breathing.
Yeah, you like looking at their stomach.
Their lungs aren't moving. I'll check their legs.
I think that even with a 2, you can tell that they are breathing. Like, they're not that clueless. But you have no idea they're breathing, and they're not unconscious, their eyes are open, their bodies have just gone completely slack. But they are still breathing.
It seems like they've just immediately fallen to sleep. Something like that.
Yeah.
Their eyes are like wide open.
Starbane.
Oh no. Nova's kind of like panicking, like, no, could it be?
Starbane came to you last time, right? By the way, this is...
But I was asleep, I was sleeping.
extremely confidential. To everybody in the room, thank you, I'm Captain.
So the people in the room is just Kamara, who leads the wolf pack, and Aerois. They're the only two in the room currently. And Aerois kind of already, she's
know.
like, well, I sort of already knew that something strange was going on with Starbane, but sure, okay. You heard the captain, Kamara? I suppose so. I don't know too much about him, but he's the big bad that tried to blow up our planet once, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sure. And she kind of
also-
like, her ears kind of fold down a little bit.
You said you wanted a lot of action and adventure. Well,
I guess so.
came to the right airship.
Are we is that going to happen to me? And she points to Ayla and Quill, who are currently
I'm wondering
unconscious.
how and why it happened to them. It's the first time.
Perhaps I should go and fetch Greylano, the
Please.
doctor. All right.
Thank you.
And then Aerois heads off to do that. Yeah. Anything you'd like to do, Sentry?
I might maybe just try and use some like lay on hands just in case.
Okay.
Just to see
How
if
much
they're
do you want
alright.
to spend?
I might just do like just 5 on each just to see.
Nothing
They
happens.
haven't-
Any wounds that they did have, which I think they didn't have any, would have healed. But
Shock
yeah,
pads.
you basically reach down, you feel the energy from your matrix kind of flow through you into this healing energy that washes over them, but no effect. You can, like Lucius, you can tell they're breathing.
Yeah.
They're alive. And in fact, when you get close, Sentry, you would probably notice, kind of in that calming moment of like healing them rather than the panicked checking that Lucius was doing, you can tell that there is a silver cord that extends, almost near invisible, but this silver cord seems to stretch out from their chest and then vanishes about 3-4 inches away from their body. It just and you put your hand over it, there's nothing there. It's this thin, silvery, near invisible cord that stretches out and then vanishes.
It's like a weird thing that coming out of their chest. It's like...
What?
I went to make an Arcana check for Nova, rolled a 2.
Cool.
It was just like, oh no, they're gonna be, maybe is there spiders? And she's like looking around like...
I don't know, it's
Like a needle? What is that?
like a-
Can I see it now that I'm...
Yeah, now that you get close, you can see this very faint, thin, invisible thread that just seems to extend from the middle of their chest.
stabbed in the heart.
I don't know where it's coming from. It just stops. It's just...
You can make a Arcana check for me, Sentry, if you want. Or Lucius.
7.
7.
Don't even bother.
Okay.
Wow.
So the two of
Tonight
you...
is going really well so far.
you
Changing up.
have no idea.
I'm moving all of these D20s in over.
It doesn't take too long. Probably takes like maybe a few minutes before Greylano, the doctor, she's quite tall, and she's athletic, but in a slim way. Like kind of, she definitely has musculature, but obviously she doesn't work out. She's not a big buff fighter, is what I mean. Like she's athletic, but more in a kind of refined way. She wears like this traditional orcish clothing. She moves over and is like, all right, step out of the way.
They've been stabbed in the heart.
Captain, if I may.
But they're breathing.
May I check them?
Yes.
And she gets down and she performs a number of checks. And she seems very she looks quite curiously at them as she begins. And you can see her, she casts a few like ritual spells. She tries pouring some like poultices, like wafting it beneath their nose. And then she kind of comes away and she's like, well, I think that perhaps it's best if we take them down to the medic quarters and just make them comfortable, but I don't think that they're not in any harm. They've not been injured, they're breathing, it's like their consciousness has been pulled away. I'm not particularly familiar with magic, but this is the effect of some sort of spell. It's pulled their consciousness away from them. But their bodies seem fine, they do not seem to be harmed or showing any sort of distress. Perhaps best if we just move them down to the medical quarters and then I will look after them. And I believe that the best option is to either fetch somebody who has a more magical knowledge or leave them to it, I think, is for the best for now.
Okay.
Nothing we do here will affect them too much, I think.
Do you know when they'll be back?
I'm afraid not. I do not know. So.
Okay.
Did they eat anything weird at the same time?
I don't think so. What? I don't think they did.
Who's connected? Who else is in the city that would do this?
You wanted it to be canon, so...
I guess we'll just go find someone. Let's go find someone and then we'll try and figure out what's going on.
Yes.
It was like, who do we find? Who is the best person? Me? But I don't know anything. I don't...
Maybe you could go to the library and see if there's anything like
Library, books!
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
this. There are knowledgeable people there.
Yes, okay, that sounds good. But should I go on my own or should someone come with me?
Wait,
I need to go get Helios anyway.
yes. The person with her, him.
She can't leave, she's a vampire.
We can ask.
I could ask her.
Yes.
Okay, but I don't want to go on my own because she is a vampire.
We'll come with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay, so the three of you, so Nova, Lucius, and Sentry are going to go to the Empyrean Archives,
Yes.
the main library. Are you just going to make your way on foot? Because to get there from Gusthaven will take probably about an hour and a bit. A couple of hours, maybe.
Can I just like park my
You can get a
airship?
sky carriage. No, you can't. Just park it above the library, no. You will get into a lot of trouble if you do that. You could try, but you'll get into trouble. You can take a sky coach. That will cost
Sky
you money.
coach it.
Yeah, okay. Nova will mark off some money.
Say to put it on my tab.
No, you will pay, but Nova will pay for it, and then I'll tell Kim.
Okay.
It will cost a few gold. Right, whilst you guys do that, 2 hours later, you, Ayla, and Quill return to Aerois. As you do, you have that sudden sensation pulled from the deck of the Stroke of Midnight. You feel that kind of rushing sensation as you see figures of Polton and Havilar kind of vanish and pulled away from you at a rapid speed as well. You are pulled back and you feel yourself traveling at great speed through a dark, starry sky, pulled through the astral plane, back into the material, but you're actually sailing, being pulled through the dark beyond, through the world above Aerois. You see very strange shapes, and although you are traveling at such speed, you glance them in brief moments, almost like they're almost as if they're frozen in time for you. you see great fleets of ships, these long, dark, Court of Shadows ships engaged.
Oh boy!
You see them engaged with these enormous, writhing masses of undead grey flesh, almost like living ships of these gargantuan creatures. And the Starbane ships are in some sort of desperate battle, and then whoosh, it just vanishes. You see planets. Some of them have been desolated, turned into barren wastelands, and you can see the Court of Shadows ships looming above them. And this all is happening as you rush past. And then immediately, almost as quickly as you've been traveling, you see Aerois. And Quill, this is actually a very familiar sensation to you, because as you draw close to Aerois, you begin to slow down, and it's like your journey back from the cradle, back from beyond in the afterlife, and you see Aerois as a planet, the shimmering energy of the cradle around it, and then you see the bright, blazing solar ship, this great, bright, metallic, long, sleek vessel, crewed by strange mechanical creatures, but at the helm is just this glowing, handsome, but also worn, like an old soldier, human man. Hair's bright and blonde. And as he looks over and as he sees you, you almost think he laughs. He kind of is like, as your body is pulled away from him.
Back again.
That's kind of the vibe you get, yeah.
Yeah, but now Ayla can see that as well.
Now Ayla sees it as well. But,
The fuck?
but as Ayla, as you're traveling, whilst Quill is noticing a lot of this stuff, and you see it too, in between there are flashes for you as well. Old memories conjured up by this trip across the stars. You have these flashes of being in a long corridor, a ship like the one beneath the Rosewater Lake. And you can see the stars and planets outside, just as you have as you've been pulled across the dark beyond. But now you can see other elves around you wearing silvery armor, inscribed with wild elf symbols and runes. Some of them wear tartan sashes across their chests. But they're marching alongside goblins and devils and other creatures that you don't recognize. Part of a large horde being funneled into some large area, and then the flash is gone. And then suddenly, wham! You feel your body, your real body, kind of lurch, intake of breath, and you find yourselves in the medic quarters of the Stormchaser. The sudden inhalation causes Greylano to drop a tray of, you can see like there's kind of like herbs laid out on it. She kind of drops it in a startle, and it's like, ah! As the two of you kind of snap back to reality.
Okay, is this our ship?
I think this is our ship.
Are we back?
I think
Grey looks at
this
you
is
as
our
like,
ship.
Quartermaster Quill?
Is this our ship?
Oh.
Well, yes, it's the Stormchaser. What do you mean, is this your ship?
Okay. Well, we were
We
just...
did it. We did it.
We're back, so we're home. That's good.
Are you suffering from eternal torment? Do you feel tormented? I feel fine.
I feel okay.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
Ah.
I did piss off the Jasamir guy, though.
Yeah, I did wonder if
But,
that was going to haunt us coming back.
That's okay.
You see.
Oh, hi, by the way. Sorry, we're back.
Hi.
What?
Are you all right? What happened to you, boss? You just collapsed on the ship.
Oh. We didn't worry anyone, did we?
Yes, the others are in a panic. They've run
sounds
off to the
about right.
to the archives to find out what happened to you.
It's okay. We can communicate with them in a bit. We just we're fine. I mean, I feel okay.
Everything's fine. Under control.
Yeah, we
Totally
kind
cool.
of went
I'm
away.
going to keep you here just for a moment. I'm afraid that as the ranking medical officer on the ship, you are both technically under my duty whilst you are in my quarters.
Okay.
You will remain for a brief moment to allow me to examine you. Then I will make sure you are well, and then you will make your way.
Can I see a silvery cord?
No, you don't.
Okay, that's gone at least.
Fixed it.
And she begins, like, basically, she comes over to you, and Greylano kind of leans down. And again, she kind of has, like, long, dark brown hair, this kind of athletic, orcish build. But she's not big. She's quite, slim, really. And she begins, like, laying you down. She, like, checks your temperature, checks your pulse, like, makes notes in a little journal. Has you chew on a little piece of, like, leaf or something like that, which kind of does give you a bit more energy and kind of makes you feel a bit more alert. Quill, as this examination is taking place, something feels weird. It's like
Did she tap my knee and it didn't reflex?
She did that, but your knee did reflect. You notice that there's something missing. Part of your equipment has changed, but also parts of your mind seem different. Where once you kind of had this knowledge of, it's hard to describe, almost as if you know more about magic now than you did before.
Uh-huh.
And when you reach and you realize it's the Bandora that you picked up in the tower, it's gone, but there is a new ring on your finger.
Huh. Hey, Ayla, has any of your stuff changed? This is the ring. The ring is the Bandora.
The only thing is, she's still got the hammer.
Oh, good.
The only thing is, when you open your hand, the silvery coin that Lady Duskwillow gave you is still there, but Quill's isn't.
Ooh, shiny. Wonder what this is worth.
So obviously I know what happened to my character, but did Quill actually actively cash it in? Does Quill know?
I think Quill subconsciously knows.
Okay.
That he desired to improve his knowledge of magic, and thus has been done.
Did you trade because you didn't like the music thing and you just wanted to get a fancy piece of jewelry?
When I couldn't play it with one hand. Do you have
That's
any
true.
strings this thing had? Now it's a ring, and I'm pretty sure it does the same stuff.
Okay.
So anyway, while that's going on, because I like jumping between the two.
And we didn't messenger ring them.
That's fine. Well, this is like 2 hours
buddy.
later as well.
Still good.
Yeah.
Lucius, Nova, and Sentry all arrive at the Empyrean Archives in the trade district of Gusthaven. It is busy as always. There is trade constantly going to and from. The archives themselves are quiet, but still busy. There are kind of robed scholars, there's a few merchants, what looks to be maybe a school trip. Where a bunch of elves, half-elves, and human kids are kind of being led around and made to read books and things like that by a very tired-looking elven male teacher who's just kind of sighing and is like, yes, come on, everyone, pick out your subjects, find a space to read, and he's kind of ushering them around. But Nova kind of just leads you straight down into this kind of like stairwell that leads down into the bottom of the library itself. And you begin making your way down these darkened corridors with these dull, amberish lights, kind of like little spots of sunlight that kind of cast this golden white light throughout them. And she leads you down to a curtained door, and inside you can kind of hear the mutterings of like, well, yes, it is peculiar. If the various devices are being found inside Court of Shadows technology, then, but surely that can't be the only use that Callus had for your people. I'm not sure, my lady. It seems difficult to place. We must, hopefully, if I travel with this Ganassi and her companions, this will be of enlightening to the purposes of what he intended. Yes. Do me a dear. Fetch me my drink, will you? Yes, of course. And Nova's just like, okay. This is the vampire lady.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so Lucius, you just step inside, and there is a hissing shriek of like, who's open? Stop!
Sorry. Sorry.
You see just blocking your path, and the light that's coming in from the sunlight globe outside is this enormous, maybe 7-8 feet tall, broad-chested, glowing, like he's not made from real flesh, he's made of light, Lion Man. And he's like, what are you doing? And he like grabs the curtain and pulls it back. And you're now stepped inside the room with Nova and Sentry on the outside. And you can hear this, not like a hissing sound, but like a very dull kind of like release of pain coming from behind
I'm so
him.
sorry, my mind is all over the place at the moment. Oh, actually, our friends' minds are all over the place.
Who are you? What are you doing down here?
What do you mean? I'm Lucius.
I don't think he met you before.
You didn't meet him.
I'm Lucius. I'm with the party that came down here and met.
Nova's like, sorry, Helios. Yes, he's with me. Sorry. Do we need to like do something to shut off the globe? He's like, my lady, step behind your screen, and you see from behind the Lion Man, you see this very elegant, thin, deathly pale, like nearly white-skinned elven woman with long ears and kind of tied up hair. She kind of like pulls herself up and like shields her eyes from a little bit of light peeking through and steps in behind this thick black lacquered wooden curtain. She's like, all right, Helios, let them in, let them in.
Is there something with the light and...
Yes.
Oh.
My lady does not appreciate the light. And Nova's like, slaps you on the arm. It's like, I told you she's a vampire.
Yeah, but
It's sunlight,
that was
Lucius.
a fashion statement.
No, she's a real...
I need a...
And then as like Nova kind of pulls Sentry in, because you went here before with her, didn't you?
Yes,
I think you were here before. She kind of pulls you in, and then Helios shuts the door, and then from behind the curtain, kind of composing herself, kind of patting a cheek, where you can see there is like a burn like over her cheek, which is healing like almost instantaneously. Is this elven woman is like, well, honestly, I would never have expected a member of the noble line to have such ill manners barging in somewhere like that. Haven't you heard of knocking, boy?
It's a curtain. You can't knock a curtain.
There is stone beside it. There is a door on the other side. I had it open, ready for my food to be delivered.
Vampires are real.
Yes.
What
The
about-
curse of vampirism is real. I'm afraid that is quite true. We drink blood, I can poison your mind, and all of that nonsense as well.
What about bed monsters? Are they real too? Cupboard monsters?
No, stop the monsters.
I thought there was just scary stories to keep you under control at night, things like that.
Oh, there are many truths to many scary stories, my dear boy, but perhaps not bed monsters or cupboard monsters. And she kind of looks at you like, how old is this guy?
Anyway, Nova said that you're extremely intelligent and you might have some knowledge on stuff.
Nova kind of like shuffles awkwardly, like, well, yes, I did. I just because you're so knowledgeable about Eterna, I thought maybe you would know about other magical subjects as well, Lady Vastra. And she's just like, oh, yes, I suppose. I'm quite flattered by the idea. I am a scholar of magic. My concerns are primarily with Eterna, such as Helios here. However, yes, what is your problem? It's not often I have visitors, even if you have nearly incinerated me. I would offer you a drink, but I'm afraid that you might find my choice of beverage a little not to your taste. And you can
garlic liquid.
She holds
Something, I can't
a
remember.
wine glass of a dark red liquid.
How do they get garlic so dark red?
Roasting.
I'm fine, thank you. I prefer onions.
You can see she is trying to stay composed, but she's like smiling and smirking underneath. Helios, however, does not look impressed, and he's like just glaring at you. He's like, he can feel like Sentry glaring at him, but he's just ignoring Sentry and is just looking at Lucius.
Our two friends, Ayla and Quill, suddenly fell to the floor as if their, what was the word that they used? It began with a C. It's like their
Consciousness.
consciousness came out of them. And
Was there did you witness any spell take place, or
we didn't feel anything. They
any
just
sort of
dropped.
poison present?
We thought it was poison, but we had our medic, cleric, check it out. And they seem fine, and they're breathing. Their eyes are wide open. Sentry noticed that there's a single silver thread that comes out of their chest that just goes to nothing.
Silver thread, you say?
Yeah, it's like a hair, like a little hair, and it just goes into
Nearly
nothing.
invisible and vanishes into
Yes.
nothing. Yes. And she goes over to. You
they
can see
dead?
that there is a section of like wall which is turned into a bookshelf. No, my dear boy, they're not dead. No, quite far from it. Although they are at potential risk of death.
No.
Here we are. Now, and she places it down. I entrust that in exchange for my aid, you will not speak a word of this book. Anyone outside this room.
No.
Well, not.
Good. This is... banned is a strong word. This sort of research is heavily discouraged. However, given that my investigations into the Eterna no doubt involve investigating the beyond Aerois, I have done a little research into planar magic before. Your people, and she points to Nova, got into trouble for this once, but I have been a little more cautious. And she flips open the book and begins flicking through. And then she turns it to face you and slides it along the desk so you can see it. I believe that your friends are here. And she points to a section. It's written in Common, but Old Common. And it basically is a chapter on something called the Astral Plane. Your friends are currently in the Astral Plane. It is a realm of dreams and thoughts where the mind is more powerful than anything. But there are creatures that live there. They fly around on ships, not unlike our airships, I suppose, called spelljammers. They traverse around. It is the home of a race of beings called the Githyanki and the Githzerai. Also a realm of a creature called the Mind Flayer who once ruled the astral plane but were long since destroyed. Your friends are there, I believe. The silvery thread is the giveaway. A person who traverses to the astral plane using a spell known as astral projection leaves their material body here on Aerois, but their mind, their consciousness, their essence is sent to the astral plane. The two are bound by a silvery cord. Now, as long as that silvery cord remains intact, their real bodies cannot be harmed, and if they were to be destroyed on the astral plane, they would simply return to the material. They would awaken as if from a slumber. The danger is if the silvery cord is ever severed, and she kind of swipes through the air with a finger, and there's like an imaginary kind of like a little magical ding sound. If that were to happen, I'm afraid that their minds and their bodies would be destroyed instantly. There are several creatures that can perform this, but also the astral plane itself is full of dangers. Psychic winds that can shred silver cords and the like. So not entirely without risk.
How do we prevent such a thing from happening?
If they've already travelled, I'm afraid that any major interference that you could do here on this plane could harm them in wherever they are.
So we can't just wake them up?
No, they are not asleep, my boy.
But you said the sleep realm, the sleep plane.
It is a land of dreams and thoughts. It is hard to explain. It is beyond just merely what a dream is, but the concept of a dream, a place where the mind is more powerful. It's difficult to explain. It is another realm of existence. Perhaps you've heard of... there are lands beyond the cradle than just Aerois. Many people are never aware of this. Ganassis, however, and she points to Nova, this is where they're from. They once lived on a planet, Elementalis, it's a similar nature. Think of the astral plane as, rather than a place like Aerois, it is a space between places.
Okay, so the string. No one can touch the string. You've got to protect the string.
Yes.
On this realm, most certainly. However, anything on the astral plane, you would need to protect them from... well, you will not be able to. My best advice to you is to... you will simply have to entrust that your friends will take care of themselves and have a way home.
Oh.
I don't know what to do. Honestly, I think we're doomed.
We got just watch them. We've got to make sure they're okay.
Like a hawk.
Yeah, make sure no one can touch them. They're so precious. Oh,
Be fine.
they're so precious.
We can use...
if you had access to a significantly powerful arcane spellcaster, they could potentially send you to the astral realm as well, but I'm afraid that such knowledge is beyond many of us.
How powerful?
Very powerful. Not more powerful than anyone I'm aware of here in Aerois. Certainly no one here in Gusthaven would be able to manage her. Perhaps the only one who would be capable of such power would have been... perhaps Aerois, the Grand Royal Stave.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh, that's a shame.
I believe that he is a very powerful arcane spellcaster.
Well, not to my knowledge.
But it is not simply it is not as simply as easy as sending one. You also need to require components, a device able to attune to the astral plane, for example. I'm not sure if Helios possesses such a thing.
I guess we have to wait.
Yeah.
Hope they can find their way back to their bodies.
Now, I do believe that your good friend Nova here, you intend to travel, yes? Find more pieces of Tiangong? Yes, I think so. And you did wish to have Helios accompany you. Excuse me, a little bit of blood.
Blood?
What do you think was in the glass, my dear?
Garlic? Is that not what vampires drink?
No.
And they're allergic to blood?
I'm afraid most people think it's the other way around, but it's actually not true at all. I love garlic.
Do you come out of mirrors?
Can't see my reflection in one. Anything else you wish to test?
No.
I've done quite detailed analysis of my affliction. I find sunlight unbearable, and it will destroy me if I linger in it for too long. Radiant energy is of a particular nuisance. I do not seem to be able to heal from it very easily. Just in case you ever encounter one like me on the road, I suppose.
Thank you.
Stake to the heart. I'm not sure if it works, but I hope not.
Very open.
Well, I have no reason to be. I'm a scholar. I'm a woman of knowledge and of learning, and a priestess of Hesper, no doubt. My affliction is a terrible curse, but it is one I am laboured with. And if it gives me an eternal life to study, then why should I not use it?
Fair point.
nice.
Yes. So,
I am interested to know what the Guardian thinks, however. I believe that your kind fought against people like me long ago.
Yeah.
Commanders
but-
of the Court of Shadows, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I've learnt a lot, and not everybody that looks bad is bad, I suppose.
Oh, you're saying I look bad?
I wouldn't say
I'm
you,
hurt.
no, I know. You don't look bad. I'm not saying it like that. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying that I would have that I may have had a predispositioned opinion on you before meeting my party and my companions, and now their opinion has changed. If that makes any sense.
It does. I find you quite amusing. But it's
that's
very sweet of you. No, but Helios he has been my companion for some time, and whilst I am loath to be apart from him, he wishes to help locate more of his people, and I believe that your friend Nova here, and Nova kind of looks awkwardly away, agreed that Helios would be able to accompany her.
oh? Are you a vampire as well?
I am an Eterna,
Oh.
sir.
Oh, like...
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna bow and kneel.
Get up.
Yes. Right away.
I am a very low-level Eterna. You do not need to bow to such creatures as myself. However, I do not trust a mortal like you or your friend to carry around one of our great leaders. Think of it as I am not so much an observer of your adventures, but I am here to ensure that Tiangong is cared for. And if you happen to find more Eterna along the way, well, perhaps then I will judge you based on how you treat them. But how I have seen mortals treat Eterna thus far has not left me impressed.
Good. Seems like we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
We both wish to rekindle Tiangong's various fragments.
Yes, and find and help other Eterna as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, as many as we can, and hope no harm comes to them again.
Good. The again seems to go over Helios' head. But he just is like, well, will you be all right, Asada? She's like, yes, I'll be fine. Go with them. Go to their ship, find more of your people. Come back, tell me everything you learn. And she looks at Nova particularly, and I wish Kim was here, because this is awkward as hell and annoying. Whatever you find, you must come back and tell me immediately. The Eterna have been my life's work, but now I am confined to this chamber. Whatever you find, whoever you find, come back, tell me, bring them to me, let me speak with them. I will make sure whatever wealth I have accumulated, whatever power I have here with the Church of Hesper, I will give to you in return.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is knowledge, my dear boy. Knowledge is what will save us in the end. Now go, off you go.
Yes.
I would just recommend look over your friends and pray to the gods that they return safely.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And use the door on your way out. And you can see that behind the curtain there is a door and a curtain that you can pull so the sunlight doesn't get in.
I awkwardly do that.
Okay.
Yeah, right here. I missed a beam my way out.
Okay. So by the time you start emerging from the archives,
A vampire.
I know.
A real one. No, you didn't warn me.
didn't I say?
She did say though.
I did say.
I didn't know they were real.
They're real. Of course they're real.
She was very nice.
It's written about it in a book
Nice.
by A. Plumbus. Undead.
Yes! I love that guy!
Oh, I've got an idea. You know our communication devices?
Yes.
It's attached to their mortal bodies. But what if we communicate with them, hello, and it goes to their minds?
Give it a try. Give it a try.
Hello?
How long has it been? Took a sky coach, short on the time, but then you have a conversation. No response.
It didn't work. They're dead.
No, don't say that. Don't say that they're dead. Okay, so we need to go to the ship.
We don't know. Maybe. Well, we know that the messenger rings only have a limited distance. They can only go up to 5 miles.
Okay,
So if they're in another plane, maybe really long, miles away.
Right, yes. I guess we just go back to the bodies and protect them.
Helios, the giant lion man, just stands behind the three of you awkwardly.
Have you travelled to the astral plane before?
It is not one I have frequented, no. I have known Eterna that travelled there, long ago, before the traitor Calistarbane betrayed us, took us under subjugation. Indeed, the Guardian understands, at least.
I don't like that man.
No.
Well, Sky Coach?
Sky Coach, let's get back as soon as possible.
You are a sky coach, and this little kind of beautiful coach being pulled by Pegasi flies down, and the half-elf is like, "Hello, my lord, step in. I'll be going to the docks, are we? That's 3. Oh, this big boy!" And Helios kind of like, but he can't quite fit in, and he just is like, and then you watch as his form shrinks down into a small orange orb that kind of
be a tiny
floats
lion
in.
man.
No, it flies in and then just reforms as a more medium-sized human lion man.
That's phenomenal.
He changes his shape to be like a smaller version.
Can you be
of himself.
bigger than you were?
I have limitations. I prefer the larger size.
It suits you.
Thank you, I suppose. And he awkwardly just folds his arms and looks at you strangely. By the time you fly back to the ship, get off the sky coach, get onto, because you have to land at the docks and then make your way down the docks to get on the Stormchaser. You arrive to Quill and Ayla being let out of the medical cabin, basically.
Oh, hey.
What?
Hi, buddy.
So,
Yeah, but you!
so apparently
You went to the planes!
we worried some people. Planes.
Astral
Yes.
plane!
We went to the
You're
Astral
back!
plane.
Oh no, now she's going to ask so many
What was it like?
questions.
Okay. What was it
like?
Oh,
What did you see?
It started.
Okay, so we.
Where did you go?
Whoa, stop moving. Your chests. The thread.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Is it
snap
still
the
there?
thread.
The thread is gone. The
There's
thread
no
is gone. Don't worry. We're back. We're actually back this time.
We're here, it's fine. Everything's under control.
We're in the right consciousness.
This is my consciousness. I do feel a little different, but we went to a different place. We met some people.
They
There
were
was a-
cool.
There was a,
Who did you meet?
Dream people.
No, I think these ones were actual people, but from a different world entirely. There was Polton.
Paulton was kind of annoying, I'm
He
going
was
to say.
a very
He was-
cocky,
Yeah, he was a
very
bit cocky.
drunk most of the time, actually.
It's just a dream, though, right?
Yeah, was it
so
real?
Doesn't matter.
It felt real.
Havlar had a hellhound, and
Yeah.
I want one now. Can we
what?
have a hellhound?
Did that come
A hell-
back
no,
as well?
what?
No, so,
No.
Okay, so we met a lot of
Nova's
people.
just writing it down.
We had to attend a party.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah. Also, I may have really angered a devil.
That's going to come back to bite, I
what?
think.
Excuse me?
It was in
How
a-
did this happen?
we were just pulled
Why
away.
you two?
That's
Apparently.
exactly what I said. Apparently, they pulled the best people for the job together, which happened to be the 4 of us, I guess. And
job?
Look after a party.
we
And
we
we
had to do a few
succeeded.
things, but I don't know how we were the best people for the job. I was a terrible person for that job. It involved talking to people and making friends.
You did kill off the Mind Flayer, though.
I did
Maybe
kill
the
off
Orb
the
of Needs knew that you were going to fight a Mind Flayer.
Oh, Mind Flayer. What was a Mind Flayer like?
Tentacles, just a lot of tentacles.
Doesn't do well with lightning.
Doesn't do well with lightning, no.
What happens to a Mind Flayer when it gets hit by a bolt of lightning?
Yeah, I think, well,
I think that happens to everything else.
I think
X-Men
either way,
2002 reference.
we are back now. And it was definitely real. You've got the coin.
Oh, coin.
What does that do?
I don't know.
So Ayla is holding
Okay.
a quite large silver coin, but rather than any other symbol or denomination that you've ever seen, it is a crescent moon, like a thin crescent moon with a spider's web stretched between it.
Ooh.
How does something that's in the mind become a real thing?
Well,
Good question.
How?
I mean, I think we did actually travel. We saw,
No, we saw your bodies. Your
Yeah,
bodies
yeah.
were here.
I mean, we still saw things on the way out and the way in. Did you see them? We saw, we saw a lot of Starbane ships. on the way back.
And a lot of other ships fighting those ships.
Outside, up.
Where are they?
Okay, so for context, we flew a very long distance, or at least felt like flying.
Is Starbane coming? What's going on?
I mean, probably, but
Stop in your minds.
no.
I don't know the logistics of it, but they were
Don't know.
fighting huge, fleshy, weird things.
Undead, weird ship things.
Yeah, and they also had.
I'm gonna
looked like-
say the word Hadar because it seems most likely.
Nova
Oh,
makes
no.
an inhale of breath.
Tell me more. Tell me everything. And this was just outside Aerois.
I mean, this was.
Yeah,
we were
like-
traveling a very long distance. It could be right outside.
There was other planets that were like done
Yeah,
so.
it looked like they'd been actually taken over by Starbane.
By Starbane.
I'm gonna go hide under a table.
So you like make your way. I'm assuming like you kind of have this conversation in the captain's quarters. You get your way. There's like a small like big meeting table in the next room, and Sentry just crawls underneath that and then sits there hugging her knees.
No, Sentry. This was thousands and thousands of whatever you call it away.
He's here. He exists. He's still coming. He's real.
Yeah, but we
Everything's
knew
wrong.
that already.
He's real and he exists, yes, but he
you've
can't
seen
get
him
through the
now.
cradle.
Hold on. As captain, I need to seize control. I'm going to go under the table and hold my knees.
Oh, wait. We knew he existed and we
Sentry's
knew he
right.
had forces, but
We're doomed.
we're not doomed.
Shit, we've got just one ship. We just it took everything.
We've got one ship and a cradle.
Oh, also the Githyanki people.
Githyanki. Yes, she said though. She said the Githyankis. Yes.
Was it the
She-
Githyanki or the Gith other ones?
Gives the eye.
Ah!
This time.
Was it? I can't remember which one, but one of them's like, yeah, blah, blah, we're gonna take over humankind. Blah, 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 blah. But she said it's gonna be centuries from now, so we're probably gonna be dead, so it's fine.
So Starbane,
Centuries.
Hadar, and Gith people.
And well-dressed spiders.
The spiders had top hats and bow ties and little cuffs. It was very strange.
So there's three people that are going to come and destroy Aerois.
No, the well-dressed spiders were very, very nice.
But they're going to come take. You said
No,
they
the
were gonna
spiders are not. That's the Gith. The other
Oh,
guys.
wait, no, you're talking about
or the
Hadar.
Gith.
Okay, look, there's...
I don't know. I feel like
Who's
we're
standing
doing a
next
terrible.
to us, by the way?
Helios is stood in the room, his form enlarged, and has been listening the whole time to this babble of chaotic mess.
I mean, I
Hi,
feel
tall
like...
man. Tall glowing man.
Oh, Helios! Oh, Helios.
Starbane. You saw his ships.
Yes, when we were traveling back. Yeah, sorry.
Who dat?
I don't know how we didn't see him. This is Helios. He's an Eterna. Hi. Yeah, Starbane.
Tell me what you know.
Okay. I mean, I guess you're now part of the
Jeez.
team, right? Well,
You also mentioned a name which has not been spoken on Aerois, and I am curious as to how you know it. Hadar.
right. Okay. Story time. I guess we told R1.
We told it really badly though. Like I feel like I've just confused everybody with the whole spiders with top hats thing.
It sounds
and
awful.
The little bow ties. But
I've got a
I think-
nosebleed.
Helios just tips the table, like from over your heads.
No.
You two should stand. You knew of this?
Of what?
Starbane.
Yes, absolutely.
Technically, I was dead when this all started. So
Okay, listen, before we go into this, I want you to know that we are on your side. We are allied with Tiangong, after all.
Your companion holds Tiangong as a weapon. I do not think that means that you are on Tiangong's side. But continue.
So, we in Savona, quite away from here, well, maybe not, I don't actually know where this city is flying over right now, but we were confronted with a portal and our young companion configured it to somehow connect to Starbane's realm, I suppose?
You traveled with someone who could connect to his ship.
Well, we and she didn't know.
It was accidental. You see, we were following a lead on a cult, or we thought was just taking over Savona, and was very contained to Savona. It turns out the leader of this cult was talking to another planar demon of some kind, and that gate could connect to all different sorts of worlds. And unfortunately, our companion smashed a load of buttons, and it accidentally connected with Starbane himself.
And also, it's
have
worth.
no idea what you have unleashed.
Oh no, we know exactly what we've unleashed.
Technically,
That's why we're doing.
Not us who did it.
It's worth knowing that the companion we were traveling with, Vala, she didn't know that she was
She was just a little girl.
just a little
I
girl.
just got a message in the ring. Are you sure you want to say this quill right now?
He wants to know everything.
Yeah, but you don't have to say everything. My voice is very high on this message.
She just
Nova's just staring up at Helios in kind of fear.
She just smashed the commands. She was innocent. She didn't know what she was doing.
What? There is a look. What are the chances? And you get the sense that I don't need to make a roll for Helios to know that there's more to that story than you're telling him. Because what are the chances that beep boop smash Starbane? Like, he's kind of like
To us,
sure.
It seemed like that's exactly what happened, right?
We were actually
No, it looked like Vala knew what she was doing. Like there was the
was a
whole thing
moment
of
of
like you looked
comprehension.
at her and she like nodded like she didn't know where it would lead, but she knew she was doing something.
She felt confident, but
Yeah.
she didn't know why.
Yeah.
we were actually tied up with no weapons at the time in a bit of a hostage situation.
I do not care for your personal situation at the time. Your companion, she opened up this portal, a planar gate, and he came through. He was there.
Yes.
You spoke with him.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Well, in our situation, Sentry had just fallen. All of us had just escaped a gruesome combat. We were in no situation to even attempt to try and stop him or
You would not have been able to if you had. He is far more powerful than any of you.
Exactly. We made a deal with him of sorts.
His like just the lion grimace, like you what? A deal? What deal?
We had to. We had no choice.
You always have a choice.
In that situation, I assure you, you would have done the same.
You do not know me, bird. And he kind of steps towards you, like this huge, like 7-foot form, and this great kind of like gauntleted fist goes to grab you round the
I'm
throat.
gonna dash
gonna-
in and step between.
Okay,
Can I like hold my hand up and
Yeah.
I guess accidentally cast something?
sure.
I want to accidentally cast shield.
Okay,
I thought it was going to be like lightning or something.
No.
okay. So you do shield. So are you going to run up? Would
Run
you?
up,
Are you just
shield out, just like
like try and get in the way?
Just try and
Use your
yes.
protection thing, so he has
Okay, yeah.
disadvantage. So he goes to do it, and the combination of you summoning the shield and then Sentry, you kind of reach up and like grab his arm, and it just stops him just before he reaches Quill, and he just is just like, I would never have made a choice with that man. He betrayed my people. He has enslaved worlds. You cannot trust him or his honeyed words, you fool.
We do not trust him at all, but he gave us an opportunity, a chance to leave, reunite all our companions together, and eventually strike back.
What deal did you make, bird?
He got us out of the Abbey, took us far away, and by took us, I mean teleported us. And he gave us the power to resurrect Sentry.
One of my people?
No.
You can see like that, like he's like raging at this
Helios.
point.
No, it's a star.
He looks at you, and he looks at you as if trying to sense something. A star. Yes. He's used them before. Not one of mine. He like doesn't like let go because he's not holding you, but he withdraws his hand, and he kind of steps back. Who have you told of this?
You, very few others.
Does anyone else know?
we
Orion
don't know.
knows.
Really?
Only the people on the ship.
Very contained, and even then, not everyone on the ship. The crew doesn't.
Yes.
No, more people need to be made aware. The leaders of the world, people who can fight back. If he has access to Aerois, if he has access beyond the cradle.
You see, we think that, but also we don't know who we can trust right now.
We've met a lot of people that have got some really shady stories. Hesper contacted
Just
me.
to make it clear, completely against whatever Starbane is trying to do, and we want to make it right.
Nova is like goes to raise her hand and then puts it down. Like she's about to do it. Well, actually, and then...
Want to make it right. Don't know who we can trust.
We know we can trust you.
Don't want to spread panic, you know?
Whilst I am angry, I cannot fault your logic. From what I have observed, mortals,
And he kind of definitely looks at the group of you when he says this.
do not always make the wisest of decisions.
We made the decision that would save all our lives.
You spoke of Hesper.
Yes, he contacted me and did make me aware that there are people that are aware of this. We just don't know exactly who or what they're doing with the information when they do know it.
So your gods know.
They do.
Pains me to say that think perhaps you are correct. You should be careful with this information. The gods will tell those that they trust. That is perhaps all we can ask for. There are other Eterna here on Aerois. If they find out that Starbane is here, many of them will flock to fight against him, but I fear that some others who are of a weak will may try and join him. It is something I've feared for a long time. He tricked our people into serving him, but he also kept them fed with energy, magical energy to keep them strong. There are many Eterna here on Aerois who do not have that. There have been several I know who have died from a lack of nourishment, lack of energy, or they've been forced to feed upon living creatures that has corrupted them. I fear that if it is a choice between such a fate or serving Starbane, there are many Eterna who would choose his side. You say you stand against him, warrior woman?
He's bad news.
Well, at least that is something we can agree on. If you are truly enemies of Callus, then I will stand beside you as a shield. But this was a foolish, terrible thing that has happened. Understand that you say you have no choice. Perhaps what you did is right in the greater term, but I could not bring myself to deal with a man who is, after everything he has done. Your guardian knows what he is capable of, as do I.
Yes.
Never trust him. He may speak honeyed words, he may offer you deals, he may even try and convince you to join his side. That is what he did to my people. He convinced Tiangong and the Triumvirate to serve him against Hadar. But his tyranny is no different to the death that Hadar would bring. His tyranny is a different kind of death, but a death nonetheless.
So, what you're saying is we have to fight on two fronts.
I'm saying that we need to figure out how Aerois survives. Siaska did something to protect Aerois long ago. The cradle. Whether it keeps us hidden from Hadar or keeps Starbane out, I'm not sure. But there is something about Aerois specifically that Starbane wanted. Whilst I was only a minor Eterna in his service, I was given to one of his commanders. I heard things. I learned things. There is something about Aerois that makes it special. Callus has taken over multiple worlds. He has dominated entire species, planets. But his eyes were always here, always preparing an invasion force to come here, preparing against Siaska and her children, the titans that you call gods. Whatever it is, it must be protected. In his hands, it would be a terrible weapon, and it may be the only thing that protects Aerois from Hadar's wrath. I'm afraid I do not have any more answers than this.
Well, just know that we are, even if you don't believe it, we are on your side. And hopefully you're on ours.
We are bound, at least by knowledge now, that we know none of us can actively share. Whether I trust you or not, we will see.
I can assure you there's nothing I want more than seeing Starbane fall in front of me.
Good. You, at least I know, have seen the horrors that he brings.
You have no idea. You have
I
no
do.
idea.
I do. I will leave to explore this ship. I will leave you to converse. And then he rips and then steps through, ducking his head, and then shuts it behind him.
Oh boy. Okay. That was close. That was real close. We really need to look around before we start talking, huh?
It's the fact that, like, I had him following these guys and you just went straight into Starvane and I was like,
I mean,
oh, really?
22 perception, tunnel vision.
Yeah, there's sometimes where I'm like, you'd already started saying stuff. I was like, nah, I'm not going to interrupt now.
We're groggy from the journey.
Yeah,
It was a long
sure.
flight.
Hey, great little reminder for the audience, though.
Yeah. There's a new chapter. We need a recap.
So there you go. There's a nice recap on the wider plot.
Yeah. Okay, so that went about as well as we could imagine it would. So let's use that as a
Honestly, at this point,
Yeah. So that's what it's going to be like telling everyone else about
still
it.
alive. That's something, right?
We just make sure we tell the right people, I suppose. That's all we can do.
Hey, did you see the barrier, by the way?
Yeah.
That's new.
That seems useful.
Yeah, I can cast that spell. You've never cast that spell before. How can you cast that spell now?
It's a good question. But,
Something to do with the coin.
yeah, I feel
Where's
like...
your coin?
Gone. I think I spent it.
Coin.
So who gave you the coin? What does the coin do?
Big
Like how Nova
spider
is now.
woman.
Nova's like this all the time!
Also, Kim says ETA 20 minutes.
Okay.
Someone called Lady Duskwillow. It was someone from the astral plane. But
What was she like?
Big and spidery, but with the body of a woman and the head of a woman.
she sticks to her deals.
But the rest was a spider?
Yeah.
So like
spidery.
her arms and legs were spider?
Spidery. No, top. Did she have arms on top?
It was like top half woman. And
Top
then
half
bottom.
woman, bottom half spider.
Oh,
like a
I don't
centaur,
like
but
that.
with-
Like a spider
with the
centaur.
spider.
Scuttly Spence.
There's a lot of
Spider
spiders.
Rosemeadow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
This was
She
all
didn't
in the
talk like
astral
her.
plane, right?
Yeah.
Is the astral plane being attacked by the Court of Shadows?
No, it was
No.
attacked by a big tentacle monster and a guy with
Hadar?
tentacles on his face.
Hadar?
No.
No.
Definitely not Hadar. Weak.
Tentacles on his face.
So that's far away.
Pirate mind flayer. He was very piratey.
So it's far away enough to not be part of this big problem that we're facing.
I suppose.
So it might be worth considering as a future option.
Paulton got asked for constant transport between his world and the astral plane. Maybe we can just piss off there if I use this.
I mean, I want to save Aerois. I don't want to go too far away from Hesper. I feel like I'd be at a massive disadvantage if I was far from him and the rest of the gods.
We kind of live here.
Yeah.
All of our stuff is here.
I mean, this is all of our homes.
I'm just wondering how much longer
Where
we
we were born.
Well, let's bring everything back to here and now.
Yes.
You're all back here. We're all here now.
I am worried about that devil.
I'm not. Back to the here and now.
Can the devil get here?
Who knows?
As far as you guys know, as long as the cradle's in place, planar travel between here and Aerois is not possible. But Quill and Ayla were just taken to the astral plane. So you don't know how that works.
So,
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I know why.
It wasn't just like a...
No.
Whoops!
I know why. It has to do with the way that you got to the astral plane and back.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah,
what's
here
our,
and now.
What's our move in the here and now?
Well, the here and now
The
is...
captain is willing to hear.
Now?
Oh, yeah, he's
And
being... No, he's being official and stuff. We should... Yes, Captain Lucius! Nova, salutes.
As
Thank you, Nova.
Chief Engineer
Quartermaster?
reporting.
Chief Engineer reporting.
Do I have to salute you as Quartermaster? Are you
I
still
think-
superior?
I think some strict rules and guidelines will help us.
Okay, that's up to you to decide. This is your ship.
I like rules. Yeah.
It will help us feel focused and centered on our goal and purpose.
Okay.
I love rules.
And allow us to have conversations without Helios listening to
I
them.
really don't like
Okay.
rules, but okay.
Okay. Rule number 1.
Captain.
Do it.
Nice salute.
Also, I think we need some maintenance in terms of we are spilling the beans, so to speak, all the time.
Yeah, that was a big spill. That was a really big spill.
Okay, I mean, we've
It
got
was
the
a
ring.
distressing day, okay?
Yeah.
Distressing. Why are you bringing big, glowy, weird lion men around? Who? What?
That's me. That's my
was
fault.
Nova's.
Why?
Yeah, that's my.
Why?
Because he's an Eterna and he wants to find the other Eterna, and I want to find Tiangong, and I figured that it'd be pretty
He didn't
helpful if
seem to
comes.
like you though, so why are we bringing
No,
him?
I don't
Doesn't
think
like
he
mortals
does.
in
He likes
general.
Tiangong.
Yeah, but he's a guardian Eterna, so he's really good at protecting stuff.
Does he know about
If he likes it.
Yeah, but I think he'll protect me as long as I've got Tiangong.
What if he finds out
I don't
about
have
Night
Tiangong,
Frost?
though.
Does he know about Night
No, I don't,
Don't
think so. Let's
mention
not
that.
mention
Jesus.
You did mention that, didn't you?
Not
No.
Night Frost, no.
You did. 'Cause
No.
he mourned about it.
Did he?
I think, but it was never mentioned exactly what went down.
Right.
I think he's like, well, he knows that Night Frost died, but he doesn't know how.
Let's
and he
keep
doesn't
it
know
that
that he
way.
was like chummy with you, so maybe like.
He doesn't seem to like it when people use the Eterna as things.
Yeah, that's it. Wow, that was really insightful.
I'm having a great day for this.
That's really impressive.
I talked to people and actually got them to like me today.
Who was it?
It was the gift, the bird.
Is that the ones that want to take over the entire
Yeah.
world? And
They got along really well, had a lot in common,
Yeah.
I think, actually.
yeah.
So as long as you're here, and if they come, then you can just be like,
Buddy!
yay, and then maybe we'll be safe.
Save the world!
So protect Ayla, save the world. Sorted.
The
I like this
Yankee
plan.
is a bridge we can cross in a different one-shot. So,
See, this is what I mean.
yeah.
As captain, we're spilling the beans again.
Nobody's
Oh,
here!
Okay.
Captain.
Right, Captain.
I know this is a safe space,
This is like a red door.
but captain's quarters is always a safe space for us all to converse.
Okay.
But we need to be aware of our surroundings. Yes, and chief engineer,
Captain.
you may speak.
I have an idea, Captain.
Go on.
What, you know how they said that eventually maybe we can get like magical upgrades and stuff?
Yeah.
What if eventually we get a thing put on the captain's quarters where anybody outside of it can't listen in, but they also can't like scry in
That's
and
a
stuff?
very, very
That's a
good
good
idea.
I mean,
Chief engineer, you need to be head of that.
I will remember this. I will remember this. Says Nova.
She's not here!
It's all right. She'll get it in the notes.
And
Somebody will tell her.
also,
Discord will tell her.
Something to prevent people traveling out of their bodies from this place
Yes.
and coming in.
That's a great idea
Nova.
too, Captain.
Yes.
All of the protection.
Yes.
Okay. All right. First, that was the first order of business.
at least
That was
I
a
have
good one.
I have a temporary solution for that, at least. I have a spell.
Quartermaster, Quill.
Yeah, I mean, if we need to do it, I could... Do we need to do that now? I can cast a spell that will stop.
Are we going to converse more about
I feel like the
beans?
beans have been spilled for the day.
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place.
So we need a
Really
airship.
beansed it.
We need an airship mission.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Our first port of call.
Captain,
For port.
official meeting number 1.
Chief engineer.
Captain, should we bring in the other officers? Because we do technically have
Yes.
First Mate Aerois and Medical Officer Greylano.
Captain.
No one speak about beans.
Captain.
No beans.
No beans.
Captain.
Yes.
We should probably decide between us what we're doing before we get the other people in, because otherwise we're
That's a
going to
good
look
point,
like
Captain.
we're freaking clueless, because we are.
Captain?
Right. Yes. Aerois isn't. Yes.
True.
Quartermaster.
Would it be a good idea if we all left the captain quarters to examine the rest of the ship? I don't think we've actually done that yet. really.
Also, we just let Helios just walk around the ship.
Yeah, no warning to the crew at all.
Nope.
But it would be a good idea to visit the rooms that we actually designed for
Let's
this.
see if we
Can we assign Helios a babysitter or someone to just at least keep like an
think
eye?
I vote Ayla.
I'm not keeping an eye on the giant lion man. He
But
doesn't
he
like
liked
me.
you most.
It
He
has
doesn't
to
like
be-
me.
It has to be one of us that he's now got this mutual agreement with.
Fine.
Fine, it'll be me.
I mean, Ayla is.
I feel like you've spoken to him more.
Yeah, I guess so.
it should be you.
Okay.
Nova.
All right.
I'm
You
glad
know
you're
more
making
about
all these
Eterna. I know
decisions.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm making
about
lots of decisions today. I'm in a really decisive mood today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very forward thinking. Anyway, okay.
We
so
should decide what we're doing, where we're going, before we get the other crew people in here, because otherwise, we need to like assert dominance, make sure that we
Yes.
sound like we know what we're doing when we don't really.
Okay.
Not
we
now,
do
not
have
hiding under
a
tables.
list. How do we not?
Yes. We do.
I don't want to be
Captain.
called bitch by any more crew.
That will not happen ever again. That was spoken sternly to.
we should probably tell the crew what Ayla and Sentry are, because me and Quill have roles, but they don't have roles. And I read in an A. Plumbus book about ship sailing in you, that on a ship, you have to have, there has to be really clear lines of authority.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, because otherwise there's confusion. Like, what if we get in a fight and Ayla tells the crew to do something, but they just think that Ayla, like, where is Ayla on their list of who to listen to?
Security officer.
We'll get the officers in.
Okay.
Tell Keliana.
Who?
Kamara.
Kamara. Kamara. The wolf lady.
We'll tell her
Kamara.
to relay.
You need to learn the names of your crew, Captain.
Kamara.
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 Come on.
Wolf names are so difficult.
Really not.
Very unique to
We'll
humans.
get Kelmara in and
Kamara.
Kamara in.
Write it down.
We'll get,
Please.
We'll get
For
Special
the love
K
of
in.
God.
And we'll
Is
figure
it with
this
a
out.
C?
It's the K.
Oh, it's with a K.
Okay, cool.
It's just the fact that like 3 times he's like Kelmara, I'm Kamara, Katie Kamara, someone talk Kamara. He still gets it wrong.
It's like you said, my name's Kamara, repeat that back to me.
I knew the name. My mouth betrays me. Okay.
Okay, well, in terms
She's
of
the
our...
leader of them.
Yes.
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 Could I be head of security? And that's a very high-ranking thing. Yeah.
Yes. Well, security is usually just protecting other people, but we'll make it
For the ship.
officer.
The whole officer, chief security officer,
Yes.
Ayla.
Ayla.
Chief.
What about
Security-
Sentry? What should Sentry be?
Sentry should be
Second mate.
director of chief of happiness.
Yes.
Chief of Happiness.
Yes. It's very fitting.
Morale.
Morale officer.
Morale officer.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now we've got that sorted slowly. We do have a list of things that we need to actually focus on.
Quartermaster.
Yes, so the idea is to gather allies as much as we can, and we've done that pretty well so far. We've got an entire ship of them, but also to gain weapons and strength and abilities to make us better to fight Starbane, right?
So Storm.
Valley of Storms, there is something in there to help me. That's what Hesper told me.
That's
I've
a
got
good
my...
first protocol. You had a god tell you what to do.
Yes, well, he didn't explicitly say the Valley of Storms, but he said he told me to gather allies and friends and weapons and power and magic and stuff.
We also have City of Glass to Sentry's Prime
I think
initiative.
that is actually quite important. That was what we were told to do. We were told to return the Sentry unit to the City of Glass.
And look what happened last time. We connected you with things of your past. You got healed, brought back, and we got more information about the City of Glass, so you could get beefed up again.
Yeah, there's a lot that we need to figure out.
Unlock your full potential, potentially.
Oh, that's exciting.
So that could be very good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yes. We have to scroll through my massive list of WhatsApp messages I sent you.
You are
ages
not
ago.
going to get there.
You're
in
not gonna
time,
get
dude.
there.
Not before we take a break. You're going to be going,
Well, how about the other things would come to our mind if they were as important. So, let's
I think we did agree that the City of Glass should be something we do straight away.
all in favour?
I think that's something we agreed before.
This is a democracy, but with only officers.
I am in
There are
favour.
technically 2 more officers that aren't here, though.
But we are making our decision to bring
Right.
forward
Okay.
to everybody.
Okay.
We need to get used to this before we start
Okay.
doing it with the other
Okay.
officers.
So that we all know what we're doing.
Yes. Well,
Look like we know what we're doing.
Yes.
Sentry, are you comfortable to go find the City of Glass?
Let's go find it.
Okay. And that's what we'll do.
Okay. All right. And with that, we're going to take a break.
Nice!
Please
Break
enjoy
time!
fan music.
Fan music. And we'll be back
Yeah.
in like 5-10 minutes. It's a Yogscast 5 minutes.
Yes.
So we'll be back soon, though.
We'll see you in a bit!
See you in a bit. You can finish eating your sausage roll or whatever it is. It's a cheese quiz.
Oh, nice.
Kim's back.
Kim's back.
Kim's back.
We got her back for the second half, and then for Avernus, which I forgot to mention, we're doing directly after this.
Yes, we are, yeah.
Forgot to mention that at the start, but yeah, twitch.tv/DND. We'll be doing Lightfall's Descent into Avernus after this as well.
And also, super quick, the music that was being played over the fan art was The Cradle by George Paris. He is on Twitch as GW. So if he's in chat, then send him your thanks. Tell him how beautiful that music was.
It is really good music.
It's great music.
I'm very critical of music.
Your hands are very cold.
I'm very critical.
Critical.
And that was incredible. So yeah, send him your love. Shall we?
We love good music. We love good fan art. Thank you to all the fan artists. Thank you to all the fan musicians. Thank you, everybody. Let's jump back in. We've not really told Kim what's happened. She'll figure it out.
Yeah.
She'll figure it out.
She'll figure it out. So, you are currently in the captain's quarters, or the ready room, technically you're in. You're in the large meeting room, which is the place where the captain brings the officers to discuss ship business.
Is there a fish tank?
There is not a fish tank. There is a single... It is very well decorated as per the specifications of Lucius when he was having the ship built. It is very elegant, but it's quite plain. There is just this large table with chairs for all of the officers, plus maybe a couple of extras for guests, seeing as you've made up 2 new officers to go on the ship as well. And it is just the 5 of you, with Helios wandering the ship on his own after your tense exchange with Helios. The rest of the crew.
His babysitter.
Yeah. He be babysitting me. Come on, let's face it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And that's where we left, with you guys discussing, I think, having affirmed your plan to travel to the City of Glass.
Yes, so we just need to gather all the officers and let's head off, I guess.
So Nova, you're happy with absolutely everything we just discussed?
Huh?
Perfect.
She was busy taking notes, it's fine.
You made a lot of notes about the astral plane, about... Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell you.
They told you that they saw Court of Shadows ships fighting something that looked like it maybe was something to do with Hadar, like some big undead monstrosity in space.
On the way back in.
Yeah.
Undead monstrosity in space?
Yep.
Just a little one.
Oh boy.
See, my impression of Nova wasn't that far off.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Oh.
Yep.
We're all gonna die.
That's what Lucius was saying.
For anybody watching at home, if you're familiar with Tyrannid Hive fleets, kind of that vibe.
I'm not.
Trots, though.
Bad news, bear.
Undead Tyrannid Hive fleet.
So let's gather everyone. Let's look professional, because we didn't do that during the interviews.
We've never done that, let's be honest.
And then I think...
Have we
the ship
vetted
ready?
everybody and checked that there's no Brookstones traitors? Brookstone traitors.
How do we know anymore?
Honestly, that's, good point. How the hell do we know?
Let's get Aerois, let's get
Yeah.
Kamara!
Kamara.
For the love of God, Lucius.
Kamara and Helios together.
Why Helios?
Yep.
He's not.
Good job, come on!
Oh, is that my job? Whose job is
I don't know
Whose
whose
job
job
is
that
that?
is.
Who's the fetcher?
I mean, you're the morale booster now. You are the happiness captain.
So, me, I guess.
Maybe me, actually. Is it my job?
I think with the lack of first mate by traditional ship authority, it normally goes captain, first mate, quartermaster.
Okay.
Bye.
That's the primary chain of command. And then individual officers like the doctor and the cook, and I guess now morale and security would fall, and engineer would fall into this, often have their own crewmates who do things for them.
Yeah.
And then all of the other crewmates are on the same level.
Okay. In that case, I'll walk out the door, kind of look left, look right.
I'm gonna
Kind
put
of-
a hand on Quill before you go, Quartermaster.
Big metallic hand.
I know you're up to this. If there's anyone that could do this mission, it's you, Quartermaster Quill.
Wow, thank you.
Yes.
You're a good captain. Oh, salute, yeah. Thank you.
We never checked that.
No.
So,
Kim note, apparently, if it was a little bit lower, it's close for American Sign Language for bitch.
oh, perfect.
The fuck are you, bitch?
So that's what the salute is. If you want to look up the salute, It's slightly
That has to be
higher.
lower. So this
I
is.
think it's
It's
like,
nose
so
to
there is
forehead.
fine.
Yeah.
There, no.
There
I,
is
I
who the
think
fuck
it's
you
around.
be.
It's somewhere around there.
Oh, that was me hitting my mic. Sorry.
I could be a little bit wrong.
Thumb to
but-
nose.
Thumb to nose minimum.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like look to the
Ideally,
left,
forehead.
look to the right. I'm clearly like not used to the layout of the ship yet.
Yeah, the ship is still docked, so it's not moving.
Well, I know,
Well,
but-
to the left and right, you look immediately when you step on the deck. There is deck, and then banner leading to off the ship. Deck, then banner leading to off the ship.
Not going
If
that
you look
way.
behind you, there are steps that go up onto the aft castle, and then at the front you have the prow deck, which is where the ballistae, the first ballistae is.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are stairs in the middle of the deck that go down. There is a mast of sorts, but this is not a traditional sailing ship where it's one large mast. There are two masts midship, one on the prow and then one at the aft castle. And between them, they kind of have this like pyramid, like long angled pyramid shape of sails, which are the sky sails, because it catches wind in a different way to a sailing ship to keep it aloft and to harness the elemental winds. So it's slightly different in that regard. But then there is the stairs leading down, and pretty much the officers' quarters, the medical quarters, the everything is below decks. It's either in the first deck or the lower deck.
Okay. Well, I guess knowing that, I head downstairs. But I feel like as I'm like walking through places, I'm like walking past doors, then heading back, like looking in. Like, no, next one.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So if you want to gather all of the officers, the only other officers except you guys, because Howard as cook doesn't really count as an officer. He's just kind of there to cook.
But you should probably know that we're about to go.
I mean, if you want to get him, you can.
I absolutely want to get Howard.
Okay. So, but the other officers is Aerois, Greylano the Doctor, which is an official position because the Doctor is the only one who can
Arc.
technically outrank the captain if the captain is sick.
Also Mork Lady, remember?
She can basically demand that she can give the captain orders if she determines that he's unwell enough.
Yeah.
Then Kamara is technically not an officer, but she's kind of your liaison to the rest of the crew. She's kind of the one who will actually dish out orders to her underlings, basically.
Okay. So
Aerois, Kamara, Greylano are the officers, and then if you want, you can also bring Howard. You also have Lancian, the Asimar boy, who has basically, Aerois seems to have taken him on as a bit of a, not quite cabin boy, because that has a negative connotation, but he's kind of her
first
dog's
mate's
body.
assistant.
Yeah, first mate's assistant. Then there is Penny Maywild, who is a human markswoman. She spends most of her time on the prow or on the masts, and seems to be somewhat of a security officer as well. Like, she seems to be focused on maintaining the ballistae and making sure that you have like ammunition for the ballistae and stuff like that. And then you have Lookout, who is also providing the role of almost like a navigator's assistant as well.
Okay. I think I'll just come back with everyone. I'm just like,
So you just gather everybody except the wolf pack themselves, who are the dog's body crew.
yeah, obviously
So
not
you just
like
get everyone.
random crew.
Okay.
Named people.
The people that you've hired.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like everyone needs to know about our first
Okay.
Maiden Voyage.
You will not all fit in the ready room.
Meeting on deck.
You can have a meeting on the main deck for sure.
Hey, I got a lot of people here. I think I might have.
Quill comes to the captain's quarters, and there's just a crowd behind him.
This whole time I was asking Ayla and Sentry and Nova to like, how should I stand? Should I like face out of the window, like looking as if I'm deep in thought, and that's an interruption, but I also look like I'm, intelligent and
Could be studying
in
a map.
control.
You could be like
Yes.
bent over the table, pointing
Yes.
at something.
Hand on hip or no?
Oh, hand
How
on
should
hip.
how should we be posing as your officers? Should we be
You
like
should be nodding.
not nodding? Should
Nodding,
we
but not too much nodding.
power stance.
Power stancing, yes.
Confidence in you.
Yes,
So we're like,
lock your arms
okay,
together
So
like
if
this.
we mirror
Okay.
you or
Not too. No, I'll be pointing at the map.
okay.
And
What
you
if I'm
ju-
like this?
Yes.
That's a good one. I like that one. Yes,
Yes.
that's good.
Excellent.
You all look.
It's just Ayla's expression.
Yeah.
Ayla's just
you all
watching
look
you.
just fucking fantastic right now.
And the other
Yes,
thing,
I
by the
am.
way, when you were gathering everybody, there were like 3 of the wolf pack. I almost call them howlers because I just have Red Rising in my head. But there was 3 of the wolf pack that are just following Helios around, and they're like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" And he'd be like, "Where I please." And he just moves around the ship, and none of them are really like want to give him a go because he's so big and large. And the 3 of these wolf pack men and women just sort of like following him around, like, "What are you doing? Why are you here?"
Bitch.
Okay, so I guess I'll open the door and then see this.
So you open the door to, what do they see when the door is opened?
I'm leaning over, hand on hip, wide stance, like one leg forward, one leg way too far back,
Like a splits almost.
pointing at nothing in particular on the map. Just oh,
And Nova's like got her
Yeah.
arm kind of crossed and one hand on her
That is-
mouth, like
But like stance-wise, like wide stance?
like wide stance again, really awkward. Really
What's Sentry doing?
I'm just like standing there, I'm like nodding, like confidently, like, yes, good.
I'm almost
What's
Ayla
violently
doing?
nodding.
Yes.
Like, violently, like
What is Ayla doing?
Ayla's standing looking like just completely done with, like if she could be face palming right now, she would be. She's just standing, staring at them.
and
The
that's
straight man.
exactly what we will do.
yes.
Wait, you've
Sounds
made
like
a plan? Wait, what?
There's no plan.
Quartermaster.
No, Captain. Lucius? Captain.
Captain, Aerois looks at you.
Captain, I have gathered everyone, actually, pretty much. I don't think they'll fit in this room. What are you all... Never mind. I think
Such a
It's
good
their
decision.
power
Very
stance.
power start. First impressions.
I took a seminar on it once.
Okay.
Go again.
Well, you might need to shuffle out of this room and then do that again, but out there.
Tell them we'll meet for a meeting on the top deck
Now?
at once.
At once. Okay, I'll turn
You
around.
turn to everyone who is on the top deck, looking at you.
We'll be out in a bit.
Aerois like looks at you as like, they'll be joining us in a minute, everyone. Let's get comfortable for a second and give the captain some time.
Yes.
Thank
They all
you.
kind of like
Thank
spread
you,
out.
Araya.
And
Thank you.
they kind of sit down on some barrels and they kind of wait for the four of you who are still in the room to emerge.
Messenger ring. Did that look good? Did we look?
I think only I saw it.
Oh,
But you can just do that out there, out here. That's perfect.
Oh, no. He has to strut out there.
yes.
He needs to
You can make a
strut.
grand entrance.
I'm going to go out on the deck to get a better view of it personally. So just follow when you're ready. And I'm just
Very
going
well.
out to the deck.
Okay, yeah, you join out. You see them kind of, they watch Ayla and
I guess as Ayla comes out, I'm just like, so everyone's all acquainted. Security Officer Ayla.
Officer!
Aerois looks and is like, good, I was going to ask the captain about this and figure out where exactly Miss Ayla was standing upon the ship. You will still be reporting to myself and then the captain, of course, but sure.
And me.
Technically, you report to me as well.
Yes, I know.
She smiles, and you can see Kamara kind of like looks. Kamara's looking at you and kind of grins, knowing that this is caused by her idiots, and she's just like, "It's good to know where you are, at least."
I feel like it should have been established earlier,
Well, let's
but we're fine now.
past in the past.
We're all good.
We're all good.
Also, just as a point, giant Helios over here. Helios? Is he there?
He's not. He's
Okay.
downstairs.
Helios. Giant glowing man, if you've seen him. Lion man. Guest of honor. Good guy.
All right.
Try not to bother him, please.
Yes, I saw some of your pack were following him, pestering him. He didn't look too impressed.
Well, I mean, as far as they're concerned, he's a giant, weird, glowing lion
It's
man on the
understandable.
ship.
It's understandable.
It's understandable.
Maybe just quartermaster, if I may.
Sure.
If you can tell the captain, or perhaps you and the first mate could tell the captain, we do need to know about these sort of things.
Oh, I know. It's just things spring up from time to time. That will happen.
Literally,
All
we
right.
didn't know he was arriving.
Right. All right.
He's my friend.
Oh,
As Nova makes her way outside, because this is like you guys were
Okay.
inside,
This is,
waiting for the captain to make his big
Broke the
entrance.
power triangle. You were going to be either side, and I was going to be the back. Power triangle out.
Nova's out.
Sorry.
Shuffle to the
I'll
side.
Chief Engineer Nova.
Be the power rectangle.
The power line.
Power line.
Power line.
What does the power line look like?
Sentry, after you.
Okay,
You could open the door.
I'll open the door. So I just step forward, I open the door. I'm very tall. Very,
Emerge.
yes.
Yep.
Emerge very proudly. Captain Lucius Virian Elwin Elanasto is now making his way to the top deck.
It's like a beauty contest.
I strut like a beauty
A few of the crew like
tender.
not quite sure.
Nova's just absolutely chill, like unabashedly, like yeah.
Right, it's like, but the crew do look a bit confused.
I know what you're all thinking, but this is your captain. Please applaud.
They stand up. They actually salute because he's the captain. And the traitor.
No,
I
that
think
makes more sense.
Lancian, any of the experienced crewmates, so Lancian and Howard are clapping as well. But the rest of the crew are stood to attention in a normal salute. They are just saluting normally.
You got this, Lucius. You're the best.
I got some dancing lights behind me. The 4 just around my head.
Ayla's just
Captain on deck.
Ayla's just sitting on a barrel, just looking at it,
Yeah.
shaking her head. Captain on deck.
Yeah, Raya is like calls out Captain on deck, and everyone stands to attention.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, thank you.
Chief of Morale.
I feel very
was that good?
boosted in morale.
Crew of the Stormchaser. It is a pleasure to have you all on board today for our first sail. Isn't that exciting?
Raya claps, and the rest of the crew kind of follow her example. Clap a little bit.
I can't wait. I honestly can't. And our first port of call, so that's for all our chief officers out there. We have Chief Aerois. Say hello. Chief Aerois.
It's first mate, but you
First
all
mate
know that.
Aerois. There she is. Oh, she looks lovely.
Tips the hat.
She's in charge of everybody. So look to her if you have any problems or questions. We have Quartermaster Quill.
There is this
Very-
awkward look of everyone who is like, we know all of this stuff, Captain. Like,
Quartermaster Quill. There he is. He's just under First Mate Aerois, so you could go to him first, I guess.
I'll probably be busy, but sure.
Araya is like, obviously if it is navigation queries, they should go to Quartermaster Quill, correct, Captain?
Absolutely. That's
And
why
other
you're
things
here.
they can come to me.
Yes. And then we have Chief Engineer Nova.
Oh, that's me.
She's very important to keeping the ship running, so treat her with respect.
Manic waving from Nova. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi.
She's very knowledgeable.
Howard is like, hello! Lancian's like, oh yeah, great. Yeah, he's just, those two are very enthusiastic about everything. Everybody else is a little bit more like, what the fuck is going on?
Could you imagine if the 3 of us just in one room
Yeah.
forever, just like, guys, this is amazing.
Well, that's what the ship's gonna turn
You're
into. so-
amazing.
And then, of course, we
You're
have...
breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Thank you.
Got this, Lucius.
Thank you. Yes, I do. We have 2 officers here that may not be aware to everybody here, so to make it absolutely clear, we have Chief Aerois of Security.
Chief Araya.
Ryan.
Not Aerois, so Ayla of Security. Chief Ayla of Security, so don't get in her way. She's going to make sure everyone is shipshape and ready for sailing. And then we also have, like I mentioned earlier, Chief Mentor and Happiness Sentry.
Life coach.
Life coach therapist.
Okay, we're gonna
And-
replace some mics as well.
Okay, cool.
So you do these introductions. Araya will turn around and just make sure that she will kind of say, "Thank you, Captain." Just to also make sure it is clear, we also have Greylano, our doctor, and Greylano, this tall orc woman, kind of steps forward, and also. Kamara will be acting as a liaison between us and the wolf pack. So if you need to speak about any general crew, if you need assistance with labor, if you need somebody to help you with supplies, then she will make sure her people are giving you some aid as well. I believe that our halfling friend Howard will be our ship's cook. I have already had reports that his cooking is very homely, very hearty. So hopefully we will have delicious food along our way. And then the rest of our crew will be here to help with any tasks that we need. For example, Quartermaster Quill, I believe that Lookout, our guardian, will be assisting for navigational purposes. They are specialized in that. Lancion will be helping me. I will be training him as a secondary first mate. And then Penny is going to, perhaps she can help you, Ayla, with security and making sure that the ship is well stocked and armed and ready in case of any battles that need to take place. But with that, I believe that the main concerns, Captain, from the crew, are where are we going? What is our plan?
There's concerns?
As in, we simply wish to know. Where are we going? What is our plan? But also, perhaps, what are our rules of engagement? If we encounter other ships, basically what they want to know is, what kind of ship are we? Are we pirates? Are we mercenaries? Are we sightseeing? What kind of ship are we on?
Science.
The Stormchaser was designed for stealth and secrecy.
Oh.
We are on a very important mission, which is a need-to-know basis. Just
It's
ensure
like a ripple of like.
ensure that those that I have mentioned today have everybody's best interests for Aerois as a whole going forward. We are critical to preventing problems of a grand nature.
And for all crew as well, whatever your concerns may be on this flight or anything, you can approach Chief of Happiness, Sentry, and we will aspire to make sure that everything is done correctly, to your standard.
And I will say this once and once only to all of you here now, and you may need to relay this to your crew.
Kamara's like just nods.
Kamara. We will be in very dangerous situations. We will partake in things that are for the greater good. However, we'll be coming up against things that have never been on Aerois before, and maybe of a greater threat than we anticipated. So if anyone wishes to step away from this mission now is the time, because there is no turning back.
Make a persuasion check for me.
16 plus 7.
Wow.
23.
23.
There is a general kind of like murmur, and then Kamara steps up. Well, considering why we came on, that's not a problem for me or my pack, Captain. We don't really have anywhere else to go. We're a family together, and all we're pretty good at is fighting. And if you'll have us, if we can help Aerois in some way, then I think we'll all be pretty pleased to be here. So,
Thank you.
Me and the crew, we're happy to be here.
This is why we went with this gal here.
Yes, we picked you for a reason.
Lancian is like, yeah. Well, like my whole thing is my celestial. They told me that I've got like big destiny for me, so I think I'm meant to be here. I think I was meant to be here.
Then it is fate.
Yeah.
We will feast upon your stew and be ready.
No, that's not him. That's
me, Captain. It's just me, little Howard. I'm the cook. Lancian, he does help me sometimes, but I'm the cook here.
Right, yes. You two are...
Sorry, you're new. We're all learning. It's all right. I don't know everyone's names, but I'm sure I'll learn.
Thank you, Howard.
Welcome, Captain.
Good to have you on board.
Penny looks over and is like...
Is Lancian wearing a red shirt?
He is now. Sure.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's wearing a really nice red shirt. Penny, the human woman with the longbow and dressed in the furs and leathers, she kind of steps up. All my life, she's from the south, I think. I think she's from Savannah.
Yeah.
All my life, I've been fighting monsters down in the lowlands. So, well, maybe we'll fight something crazier than that. But I've spent my whole life fighting, so I don't mind being around. And if the pay's good, it's better here than anywhere else. So.
Perfect. Good to have you on board.
Lookout is just, my purpose is to look out. I am more than satisfactory to remain upon this ship.
And your looking out is what we'll need.
It's what I'll need.
Very
Extra
well.
assistance.
Very well. He's Lookout's expression doesn't change very much like Sentry's. It's just very flat. And with that, Aerois turns. So, where are we going?
Well,
We can discuss this in private if you wish. You can just take myself and Navigator Quill if you want, but I think everyone is keen to know where we are headed.
I believe everybody else can attend to their own required jobs for the ship, get everything ready. We're about to set sail. Aerois and Kamara, we will speak in the ready room.
All right. And she just claps. She's like, you heard the captain? Dismissed. And the crew go about their business. And then Kamara and Aerois will come with you all into the ready room.
We're going sailing!
The door opens and it sounds like a Fanta can.
Yeah, you step inside. There is a kind of crude map of Aerois laid out on the table. Not much of it is filled in. It is fairly blank. Like this. I don't think the top-down map is working. So
Top-down map isn't working, nor is it on podcast, because that's just audio.
yeah.
But I've had a map for a long time. So, we are going to the continent of Gisela.
Okay.
Gisela.
Yes.
Don't laugh at Gisela.
God.
What's so funny, Lucius, Captain?
What? I'm not laughing.
No? Okay, you look deadpan serious.
So we are heading to Gisela.
Yes, and Gusthaven is currently...
Gusthaven is approximately, we are just past the Starfall Archipelago, so we are some ways away. We are closer towards Jakesh, in the large space of sea between us and El Sarath.
Okay, so
That's
about,
like the whole map.
It is some distance to Gisela, yes.
about the distance of... Well, it's actually...
The whole map.
Yeah, about the distance we were teleported, actually.
Vornsire, I believe we agreed was in Jakesh, so it's up in the top quadrant. So
It's not even on the map.
it's not on there. This is Quill's map, so I haven't filled it in.
Yeah,
Thanks, Quill. I like your big
Gusthaven
voice.
is about here currently.
almost in the dead center of the map.
So we need to go.
So we are looking for a city, or the ruined city of Kamina. So, do we actually have like a library on board, or
No,
did
not
we
on board,
get a
no.
cartography room?
No, you didn't get any of the extra
I
rooms.
asked for a library, but you guys just stared at me.
Okay.
We have spare rooms with which to equip with such things should we need them.
I think it would be useful if in future there was a cartography room so we could find more out about this.
Library.
Maybe an addendum to that, a library too.
A library
Can it just be
cartography
a
hybrid.
combo?
Yes, a study room.
I mean, if you give me like 500 gold and an hour, I could go and buy some books and then just come back.
No.
I mean, when's the next time we're going to be near a library?
Yeah, you could do that. You could spend some extra
Do we
time.
have money? I think we spent it all.
I
Got
have
some money.
lots of money.
Well, it's worth equipping.
You
the
did
ship.
spend some, but then you sold like the potion, which got you a
I
lot.
got
Yeah.
200, 350, 650 plus 600.
1250.
See if you can get some generic things about each continent and maybe some focus on Gisela.
Yes. I mean, it would be worth equipping the ship with cartography for this exact scenario when we're looking for a ruined city in a continent we've never been to.
Yeah, if you want the ability to conduct research whilst you're on the ship, you would have to spend probably about 1,000 gold in books, supplies, maps,
Gonna wipe
tools.
us out.
Yeah, it's gonna spend you a lot of money, but then you won't have advantage when you make those checks, but you'll be able to basically do research whilst you are on the ship, whilst you're traveling, and then that can help you pinpoint locations, or if you're trying to find certain places, you can go there. Right now, you have your information, so if you tell Aerois, and it'll be your job as navigator to figure this out, but you have some clues there to help you locate it, and as you get closer to Gisela, then as you get closer, you can begin to just patrol and like try and find signs. Like if you know that there is a ruined city of glass, chances are you're going to see it. You know, if you travel over the countryside.
Wasn't it near the
What?
Dawnbreaker Mountains?
Near the Hawksdawn Archipelago.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we approach from the north.
That's Suvo. You're thinking of Solvin. It's a different thing. The city of glass and Solvin.
yep, sorry.
And I've seen a few people that people are thinking they're the same thing. They're not. The city of glass is different to Volcanos and Solvin. They're different places.
And Solvin and Volcanos was mostly around Hawksdawn, wasn't
It was near the Hawksdawn Archipelago, yes.
Yeah. And just south
The
of
difference
that
is the attendant of Valena told you that the Prime is in Volcanos. It's in the facility of Solvin.
Meanwhile,
when Sentry was injured, or when Sentry was dead effectively,
Offline.
said, if this unit has been damaged, bring it to the City of Glass. So it's two different things, right?
Yeah.
okay, so we've got quite a long journey anyway. We've got to get from here all the way down to Gisela. Gisela. It's called Gisela. The continent is Gisela.
I
Okay.
don't get it.
I thought I'd just get out of his head
I don't
quickly.
get it.
So,
Take my ball cap back.
I think that is our plan at the moment, Aerois, if that...
Well, I can navigate the ship there, but I will need you to perform the navigations
Okay.
to get us there. Obviously, how well of a job you do, Quartermaster, will determine how long we are. I guess I would normally say at sea, but traveling upon the winds.
Is the airship faster than a regular
Yes,
sea
it is.
vessel?
It's faster than a sea vessel, but we are more prone to things like weather, things like that. If we encounter flying creatures, if we encounter bad weather, obviously it can be quite dangerous. The ship can't fly at exceedingly high altitudes. Gusthaven is probably the highest that it can reach, and it can't fly at this altitude. We'll need to descend much lower when we are flying normally.
Okay. Well, I think as long as supplies are stocked and people are ready, I think we're ready to go, Captain.
It may even be faster, obviously you are pointing at the map, it will actually be faster for us to travel in the opposite direction, in the direction of the flow winds, of the elemental winds, and then wrap around. You have a flat map, Aerois.
Aerois is round? I don't say
Yes.
Yes, that sounds, yeah.
It will be faster for us to travel there. So we'll spend a lot of our time traveling across the open ocean, and then we will probably come round to the southwest of Gisela.
Yes. And then we
Vortensar? Will we pass Vortensar?
We will be not too far away if we go that way round. Obviously, if you wish to travel directly to Gisela by going the opposite way, it will take us further away from Vortensar. But it would take us closer to things like to Savona, for example. If you wish to go via Gold Throne, we will be traveling that way.
Maybe we should go there and pick up that wyvern armor that I've probably sold on by now.
You have two options. It will be faster for us to go past Vortensar and Jakesh, and then come around to the southwest area of Gisela. But if we go the other way, we will need to take a slight detour to avoid the Maelstrom, but we can go via Gold Throne. We could pass over Gold Throne on our way.
I think
Arvo is
speed-
in Gold Throne.
True.
There's a city in Gisela called Imixan, which serves as a bit of a port for airships. We can dock there, gather supplies, refuel, and then make our way on to exploring, finding this.
Well, we need to
glass.
stop. Can we do a direct path to the City of Glass, or will we need to resupply?
No, well, if we wish to travel a certain direction, we cannot go directly. It would take us to the Maelstrom, where Artelicus split Aerois. There are still turbulent winds and waters there. We should not pass through.
So potentially we should go to Imixan for resupply.
We have to go to somewhere. The distance is so great that once we reach Gisela, we would effectively be running on deuterium fumes. We would not have much more fuel left for longer journeys.
Yes.
It is always better to restock once we arrive at a major city.
Also, when we heard the voice from Sentry, it did say that the messengers would guide the way. There may be a messenger post in Imixan, and they know more about it than us.
That's a good idea.
We have many things to attend, potentially see to in Gold Throne anyway, so it seems like the best port of call.
Very well. So
Yes.
you wish to travel via Gold Throne, yes?
In which case, we're going south to Savona first.
Yes, we will need to divert south, travel alongside the very edge of Jakesh and the coast there, across the Starfall Archipelago, and then we will make our way over towards Savona, Gold Throne, and then from there we can travel almost directly to Imixan.
Yes.
It is settled.
Very well.
Sounds good.
All right, well, Mr. Quill, if you can plot a course for me using the map. The rest of you, Captain, I will take the helm. Miss Nova, if you can make sure that the Ethereum engine is ready to go, that we are primed, check our fuel levels, and then the rest of you, I suspect, just make ready the crew.
Oh snap, that's me. Oh, okay.
Okay. So with that, unless you have any more business in the city of Gusthaven, yes, Sentry.
Feather falling.
You want to go and buy some Featherfall tokens? Sure,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Did you want to try and stock the room on the ship with books and maps and stuff, or
I mean, yes, but whether or not a group wants that.
So the
Okay.
bare minimum,
That
you'd
sounds
say, was
good.
like 1,000.
you need to spend at least 1,000 in order to be able to perform research there?
Does
Yes.
anyone have anything we could sell? Is the other option.
Nope. I've got sheep. I
Uh,
don't think I've got anything. I've got do I have Smeek's halberd? Did I take that off him?
Yeah, you haven't
Oh.
seen Smeek for a while.
we've got Smeek's earring thing, haven't we?
Yeah, I took that from his dead
Well, it's just a
Translator earrings.
Yeah, it works to translate any spoken
Yeah, I'm
language.
keeping that.
Keeping it?
Any basic language, anyway.
Don't need it anymore.
I've
Unless
already,
you
I've already
do.
got it.
Well, Nova wants it for people more than just Meek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I steal my magical thunderstone pistol?
Sure.
That's the one I got from thingy.
Tempted to sell my glamour disc.
Is it?
Never use it.
Yeah, from not Caddy's Rest.
Before that.
Before Caddy's Rest. What was it called? Near the Ironwood. Was it Ironwood?
Ironwick.
Ironwick. Ironwick was the name of the place.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
I don't think it was, because that was the multi-barreled one. Was that
What
the
about
one
your
you
weird
meant?
claws?
Yeah, I thought you had like an arcane
The
one.
claws.
Yeah, you did, yeah. I don't think you ever
Do
picked
have
it
one.
up.
I thought I did.
Maybe you did, maybe. But yeah, you can sell
Want me
it.
to sell
It's actually surprisingly not worth a considerable amount of money.
Nah.
They're rare, but a lot of people don't know how to use them, so it's kind of
No.
it's bought more as a collector's thing. They're kind of seen as like relics of the war, so they're more like historical artifacts. They'll buy it for like 400 gold.
I'm not going to use it. I don't think I have been using it.
How are we doing for potions as well, kittens? I used all of mine in that last fight.
1.
I've still got one.
I have one.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay, so I think everyone but you've got one.
Wait.
Hey, Ryan. Where's your
Yes.
potion?
As
I
a
have
shield.
2 on me.
Oh, no,
He
I've got
does.
Two,
With me
huh?
right, I have it right now.
Okay.
I am equipped, ready for battle. So rather than we won't spend too much time on this. Do you want to spend money on that thing? The Featherfall tokens, by the way, they're one use.
Yep.
You literally, it's like you don't need to attune to it. You just keep it on your person, and when it senses you falling dramatically, so not like
good, not like
not
down
like a
the
10
stairs.
foot, yeah, exactly, not like a 10-foot fall. But when it senses you falling of a great distance, they automatically activate. They're one use, and they cost 50 gold each. They're normally bought by the nobles of Gusthaven as, oh, in case I get drunk and fall off the side again.
I will give Sentry my Force Claws. If you like, if
That you got from fucking ages ago, yep.
Yeah.
that I absolutely remembered.
Yep, there's a pair of magical braces
Didn't
with
have
long
Nova
claws.
just whisper in his ear.
Yeah. I was going to say, I would have been impressed if Chris Trott remembered.
No, I
those.
just whispered.
Hey, you've got these things in your inventory.
What do they do?
They're magical weapons.
They're
They're
Wolverine.
like clawed weapons, basically. They're
Oh,
like,
I thought they were the lightning lure hookshot thing.
No,
No, I
those
gave that
never
to
had
Ayla.
those.
Oh,
See
right.
if you
one.
can trade these for some of those Featherfall tokens.
Oh, you sure?
Well, it's gone now. It's in your
Thank
hands.
Yeah.
It's called like force.
Yeah, Force Claws, they're
Claws.
called. Yeah, you can either keep them as a magic weapon. They are basically like +1 weapons that are like, fighting claws, like Wolverine style claws. If you sell them, they'll be worth at least 1,000 gold,
Oh, okay.
because they're a
Oh my
+1 weapon.
God.
All
You
right.
probably get
Library!
you probably get like 10
use
gold or
them.
something for them.
Okay, thank you.
You could just
We
use them.
use them.
Yeah, somebody could use them. Don't know who, but somebody.
Who's going to use some claws? Who's going to use
Nova
We were
use
going to give them to Smeek, but
You could put them in Tiangong. Tiangong can absorb them. They're a +1 weapon.
books, Tiangong. Books
Books.
and maps,
Books and maps.
Tiangong.
Books and maps can help find Tiangong.
Exactly.
Right, what are you doing?
Color up the punches.
What are you doing?
Or we
Sentry?
could make Sentry even punchier.
You selling the
I don't even think Sentry's not even worth using them. She's already got her axe and stuff anyway.
My fists are good enough.
So rather than taking ages,
Yeah, what do
you
we
guys
want to do? So, buying Featherfall tokens, one each or just a whole?
So if it's one each, then it's obviously 250 gold.
Just a whole stack. I don't really need it because I can levitate.
Okay,
Oh,
so
so
four,
four.
so 200.
200 for...
200.
Oh wait,
Maybe
I
get
can
a
also
couple
levitate.
of those.
Do you
Oh.
just want more?
I get like...
You can levitate.
Sentry
I
wants,
get like 8.
3. Okay.
Sentry wants 8.
8. Okay.
Okay.
So what's 8 times 50?
Sentry's terrified of falling off this
400.
airship.
Someone do math for me. Okay,
400.
400. So
Yeah.
I will sell my opal scroll case and 2 silver bars
Okay,
for the 400.
mark them off.
Marked off. So do we want to dole these tokens out?
Just write down
Full
somewhere that,
400.
that you have. 8
I'll
featherfall
write it
tokens.
down for now. and
Yeah,
then
because I haven't made a custom item for them.
we
either,
can do it
so-
off stream.
Yeah,
so.
just put them in like the custom items bit on D&D Beyond.
Eight.
There are Featherfall tokens on there.
Feather.
There are Featherfall tokens.
There are, but like I just
Token.
want to change them because I don't know if they're one use and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
And then
I
do
need to
we?
just check it. It's fine. You're not going to fall off in the next 40 minutes.
He said.
Well, yeah, never
Oh,
mind.
Sentry
I
Force
jump
with
off
all
the
8.
Blast
And
off.
then, do we want to exchange the fourth claw?
Fourth clause.
Any calls on the fourth clause? Anybody
There's
want
2 votes for books and maps.
Yep.
Yes, books and maps and books and maps.
Books and maps, I'm all for.
All right, there you
The
go.
man of captain said it.
By outvote of 4 to 1.
It's why I gave them to you too.
Right, there you go. So Nova returns probably like a good 3-4
gone.
hours later.
Yeah, we
I'm
told
just
our crew-
vibrating.
Crew,
With
get
several
ready
of-
to leave.
Yeah, with several of the wolf pack like coming along to just carry stuff.
This is the best day ever!
As she returns
I guess
with.
while she was gone, I also found a room that we could set up.
Yeah, I mean, there's no like bookshelves, so it's all just going to be kind of like piled in there.
Just turn my room into it. I
happen
don't
like
care.
that anyway.
Huh?
It's going to turn into that anyway,
Yeah.
regardless of if you have bookshelves.
Yeah. I guess you can have like you can probably have Nova's personal wooden trunk, like in the officers' quarters, moved into that room to put everything in. But it means that she has no personal storage now.
Okay.
When we hit Gold Throne, Imixan, we'll look for some shelving.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just like, I'm not even listening because I'm too busy like organising and just.
When you go to like a big city, that's when you can actually have things customized in the airship and stuff like that. So
Wicked.
'cause you can actually hire like a carpenter and have them come in and measure the space. And it will take some time, but it won't be too much gold to just buy like lockable furniture. So because the thing in an airship, right, is it does this. So you don't want just open bookshelves like in a normal room.
Yeah.
You need to have like a cabinet that locks and keeps
Glass
it all in place.
cabinet.
Yeah. Maybe
All
not
glass.
On wheels.
On wheels. On a gimbal, so they stay steady.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool.
We need a gimbal pulled here.
Cool. And with that, the last bit of shopping out the way,
Yeah.
you guys set sail. I need 2 checks.
Okay. One
Quill?
with me, I imagine.
I need you to
that
make
one.
a survival check.
Survival. It's not a good start for this maiden voyage. 13.
Okay. Oh, you would have advantage because Lookout is helping you, sorry. So
Pretty good start to this maiden voyage. 23.
23. And then Nova, I need you to make an Arcana check.
That's great. Oh, plus 1.
Oh, hey, I'm proficient in that now.
19 plus 7 is 26.
The Ethereum engine hums with a purring sense of power that just kind of pulses and emanates, and it vibrates up through the wooden decks of the airship of the Stormchaser. And you watch as that energy coalesces, the sails begin to just faintly glow with golden light as this kind of force and energy fills them. The sail lines become taut, compelled by some invisible force, and lurching away from the dock, the Stormchaser begins to sail and dip lower and lower.
I forgot to buy a spyglass.
Aerois is at the helm,
Oh!
and she begins turning the great
jump
wheel. Begins turning the great wheel as the Stormchaser begins to bank and descends down through the thick layers of fluffy white clouds that surround Gusthaven. The dark sails and the dark painted woods swirling with black smoke of the Night Frost style enchantment.
I'll be looking out the top just one last time at Gusthaven.
You see as it begins to just disappear above you.
That was a piece of shit.
Just one middle finger in there.
You watch stood next. I'm assuming Lucius, you're stood next to Aerois as she's at the
Yeah.
helm, so you're kind of stood
I'll
with
just
her.
look stoic.
Okay. Nova, you are basically based in it's the first deck, not the lowest deck. It's the first deck, but in the very center, beneath the 2 main masts. And the reason that you have 2 main masts is you have the backup engine, and so that power from that Ethereum core is channeled up into the mast and then through into the sails. And around you there are a number of sleek kind of metal tubes and consoles with crystals. You see that there are runes etched in which glow in different colors to show statuses. And you've kind of had this taught to you by Lily and Sprocket. So you can make sure the engine is running efficiently, you're burning fuel at an efficient rate, the engine is basically at full power, and the redundant engine is ready to be switched over to when you need it to. Quill, you have the maps. You can actually send a copy, like a very basic illusionary copy, to Aerois where she's on the helm. Like it kind of appears as like a little 2D map that she can kind of follow and look, and you can send it from the navigator's quarters, basically.
Nice. Wait, hers is 2D, is mine 3D?
Semi. It's kind of got like mountains and things, but not like fully round globe. And it only displays the like an area that you map out, so you can choose to like zoom in on an area.
Pretty cool. Has it got minis on it?
No. But you see the ship dips beneath the cloud line, and as the white clouds begin to rise above you, suddenly the protective barrier of Gusthaven is removed, and you feel this kind of this wind suddenly hit you. It is cold, up so high up, the cold instantly hits you, and you feel like this intense pressure around you as the ship begins to descend faster and faster to get beneath this kind of high altitude pressured air. You kind of have to hold on for a moment as the ship begins dipping and dipping down.
I forgot something in my captain's quarters.
I'm afraid that it's... Oh, she's like, well, you can try and get down there now, Captain, but I would recommend you hold on. And you can see the Wolfpack are like adept at, even though there's this intense wind and pressure and the air is incredibly thin, they're still going about their business. Several of them are hauling in sail lines. Several of them are like basically checking their, with the engineer, making sure the engines are running. They've got like little hammers and little arcane tools that they're checking various devices. But it doesn't take long for the ship to completely dip out of this high altitude thing. And eventually the grey kind of cloudy weather stays with you, but the pressure goes away. The wind dies down, and instead you find yourself staring out onto wide, flat ocean that seems to extend for miles and miles around. You can see off in the very faint distance, just on the horizon on your... Which one's starboard?
Right.
So port. On your port side, you can see on the distant horizon just the shape of very faint little islands and mountains, which must be the Starfall Archipelago. And you begin making your way as you sail.
And above and behind us is a silhouette of Gusthaven, and then over the top, Aerois.
Wow, they have the whole
Title
letter.
screen.
Dun dun.
Finally, we're at the intro.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so you see, and you can see, like, there are little bits of Gusthaven that poke just below the clouds. Specifically some parts of the chains where you can see these like ramshackle wooden platforms held by these thick iron chains and little wooden houses just dangling beneath the city that just poke through the cloud layer and stuff like that, as well as the Ethereum nets and the devices used to catch Ethereum. The ship sails, and I will say that probably for the first 3 days of the journey, nothing eventful happens. Life continues aboard the ship as normal.
Getting acquainted.
Yeah, you get
used to the
acquainted.
ship life.
Yeah, I guess the first few days we're all like very focused on our tasks to make sure we...
Yeah, everybody's very focused. It's also, this is technically the first journey that the ship is making. It's done test flights, but this is it really being put to the test. So there's quite a lot of like making sure the Ethereum engine's running, making sure that like everything is acting smoothly, and making sure the crew's getting along. Maybe there's a couple of times when Aerois kind of has to break up, fights or, some minor disputes. But she explains that that's normal.
Howard just dings someone with a ladle.
Yeah, but purely by accident in a Chuckle Brothers springing, the pole around on the
Lancy.
But it was a wolf guy, so...
However, on about the fourth morning, Lookout he would come to Quill as the navigator. Quartermaster Quill, I have detected something on the horizon.
Okay, what do you think it is?
It appears to be a small settlement built into the ocean itself. A number of geocentric rings rise up out of the ocean. There are humanoid figures. They appear to be engaging in some sort of battle with creatures in the sea.
Okay, a settlement in the ocean.
Yes, I believe it to be orc in nature.
Right, is this something we should be worried about? Should we...
I am reporting it to you as that is your decision to be made, sir.
Okay, I will report to the captain in that case.
Very good. I will continue to monitor it from the prow. And then he just makes his way up, and you can see that he's kind of built himself like a little thing that sits on the front, and he just kind of like sits in, locks his legs into, and then just stares out the front of the ship, just like...
Kind of like R2-D2.
Kind of, yeah, like a little lookout.
Nice. In that case, I'll rush over to Lucius.
Sure.
Lookout has detected...
Oh! Is it? Oh, look at this guy ruining his words! I just said the name! How hard is it to repeat?
He's not bitter.
That was piercing.
I love you, Mark. I love you so much.
Just said it in a weird accent. Wow, he has been on the trigger for that one the entire time.
Just waiting.
That was so quick.
Hey, chat, you need to use all your nap snack emotes.
Okay.
Tom did a Markism. Oh, you had that coming to you, boy.
You know the Captain Holt vindication. Anyway,
Ah, look at them fly.
Captain Lucius Virian Elwin Alanesto.
Oh, snap!
I've said that name many times.
I don't think you've ever said it that fast.
Lookout has detected what they described as a small settlement in the ocean. Apparently they're fighting some things in the ocean. Is this something you think we should stop and check out? Is this something we should just fly on past?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Because you're the captain,
Oh.
Captain.
Is it? I thought you'd know.
It looks like they might need our help, but at the same time, we could just carry on. It's up to you.
I'm assuming that like all of you are together when you want to talk about stuff, by the way.
Sure.
Unless you say I'm.
I'm going to messenger ring everybody.
Yeah, you can also. Actually, I forget you have messages.
Well, I guess as I'm
Hello,
heading down the
computer.
mast, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
incoming. Whoop, whoop.
So I basically relay that to everybody.
Tap the communicator. Quartermaster to all officers.
I am living
I know
my
you are.
best
I know you
life
are.
right now. That's Nova as well. Nova's just like
Yeah.
the last 3 days she's been running around like library, airship, library, airship.
Does Aerois respond first mate or number one?
First mate. And Orion doesn't have a messenger ring, remember? So
Number
you
right.
communicate personally.
Whoopsie.
Number
I
one.
get the important ones.
Number one.
Yeah. So, they could use our help, definitely. I mean, they're fighting something, but it's a case of flying down as low as we can and assisting with either the harpoons or somehow getting off the ship ourselves.
Do we have the capability, first of all, to deal with this problem? Secondly, is it getting in the way of our mission?
It will stop our journey, but
Do we have the supplies to reach Gold Throne if we do this?
It was. Lookout would have told you. It's in your current
it's in our
path.
path.
Yeah. You're going to pass over it as long as you maintain
Should
current
we
course.
interfere with matters of a aquatic nature?
Prime directive.
I mean, we can just fly right over and pretend it never happened. Or we could help them.
So
You're all in on this messenger ring call. So
Okay.
what does the rest of the crew think? Crew officers?
Well, how bad does it look? Does it look like does it look like it needs intercepting? Have they got it? Are they handling it?
I mean, what could I see from where I was?
I mean, the thing is with a messenger ring, you can just go next to Lookout and begin looking out, and then just tell people what you see.
Oh, should we just kind of retcon it and say I'm
Yeah,
still
sure,
up
sure.
there?
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check for me, but we'll take your passive as kind of like a base what you get.
Yeah, I can't see shit, Mark.
got
Well,
that
It's a shame you don't
spyglass.
have a spyglass.
Yeah.
I'd give you advantage if you did.
13. I don't know my I don't have a spyglass.
So 13, but your passive is 22, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah. So we'll take your passive as your base.
and I see all.
You don't see all. What you see is, at your current speed, you'll probably reach there in a few minutes. But you can see in the distance what appear to be huge stone rings risen out of the sea on like stone plinths. The rings are concentric, so they kind of go inwards, like each individual ring, each individual ring,
Yeah.
each individual ring. Upon which a settlement has been built. So you can see wooden little tiny shacks housing, you can see walkways and platforms between them, you can see fishing nets have been hung off the sides.
So it's like an oddly natural.
The rings don't look it. The rings look like they were built long ago. They look ancient,
Okay.
but the settlement is new. It's like being built upon it.
Yeah.
You can also see that around the stone pillars holding the rings up, small docks have been built, and there are small orc-like vessels that are nestled all around it. But probably the more worrying thing that you see is that they are clearly fending off some sort of attack. There are orcs and strange fish-like people, humanoid in mainly shape, but you can see colourful like fins for hair or like webbed feet and hands, seashell armour. And they're working together to fend off these hideous, bulbous, fish-eyed creatures coming out of the sea. Many of them appear to be riding sharks. Several of them seem to use magic and are firing magic up at the orcs and the tritons, which you now recognize as being tritons. There is also at least one enormous shark, huge in size, which is just ravaging all of the ships, tearing apart, breaking up their docks. Kind of, certainly very, very large, huge in size. And that is what you see. As for how well it is going, not particularly well for the orcs and the tritons. They are, whilst they don't have a lot of foes and they do have a defensible position above, the shark is destroying their boats, and several of the orcs and tritons are trying to rush down, trying to fend it off, but they're being engaged by other fish creatures and being stopped. There appears to be one triton woman who is leading the attack on the shark, and you can see she's this kind of almost mermaid-esque princess with this long, sparkling, glittery hair, shell-like armor, and a trident and a shield in one hand, and she's basically trying to fend it off. She looks very Atlantean from Aquaman.
Wait, there's a triton fending off the shark?
Yes.
The Tritons and Orcs are working together.
Yes.
Oh, I see, okay.
Against the Murlocs.
So I'll...
Basically, yes. They are very Murloc-esque.
Okay, so I'll relay that and then say...
Do they make the same noise as a Murloc?
No.
I guess I can't really hear them, but...
They go, Sahagan!
They have ranged weapons. I mean, we could lower the ship and use the harpoons to help out as much as we can. Not the harpoons, the ballista.
Let's get it in ballista range.
Okay.
And it's a good way to test them out, right?
Sure.
And if we need to do more, we'll engage further. Could you inform First Mate Aerois immediately, as well as Kamara,
Yes.
that this is what's happening?
So, battle positions.
Indeed! Brace!
Not bracing, we're not bracing.
Put your hands
We're not ramming, are we?
to your knees!
Don't ram the shark.
Please don't ram the shark with the ship.
I'm not doing that.
Cool. I'll find Aerois and then inform of the...
Of the situation. Okay, so Auroria's like, all right, so we're going to go help them, yes?
Yes.
Good. Very well. She basically begins ordering, she begins barking out orders like, Penny, man at least one ballista. Kamara, get the rest of your crew equipped with ranged weapons, bows at the ready. The rest of you get set to the sails. We're going in down and low. We'll try and stay out of its range. It shouldn't be able to reach us from up high. We'll get just within ballista range. Any of you who have spellcasting abilities, I recommend that you lend aid to the fight as well.
Okay.
I will make my way to the ballista area.
Yeah, so you have one ballista on top, which sits on the very top of the ship. That obviously can't point down. The ballista on top is meant to fend off other airships. However, kind of Millennium Falcon style, there is another ballista at the bottom which looks down, so you can attack downwards. Penny is currently on that one, and she's strapping in ready to attack with that. The rest of the crew are basically on the main deck, but they're like getting bows ready to lean over the sides. As the ship begins lowering, you hear this cheer kind of erupting from the orcs and the tritons on the stone circles, and you can see them like, yeah, like cheering, like clapping, like beckoning you down. The creatures, many of which are mounted on sharks. The sharks have like saddles made from like shell or like leather almost, and then they have these reins made of like a thick, sinuous seaweed, and they've got these spears that they're waving, but several of them, more feminine nature, begin looking up and they begin pointing up at the ship. I believe we're going to have initiative.
Hey! Airship to sea.
So, yeah, there's going to be a few things I've got to do here. So, I don't suppose, Chris Trott, you have the airship stats I gave you.
Lol.
It was a printed out piece of paper, so that's probably a no. Check your bag, let's see what you've got.
Man.
That'll be an...
Airship versus...
So you have
giant
Penny, crew, and then we have the...
How far away are they from us now that we're sort of lower
The
down?
ballista has a certain range. I'm going to have to get it up.
Because I think there's also like spell casting is going to be tough if they're over 60 feet away.
Well, that's the thing. So,
120, please.
Oh yeah.
Eldritch Blast. Pew pew.
so let me get the ballista. The ballista's minimum, though the ballista generally will stay about 120 feet range. So the ballista is about 120, so the ship
Power
is about 120 feet above the water. The ship, like Aerois gets it, so it's just within range. You'd probably go to about 110 feet to to adjust for the ship bobbing up and down and things like that as well.
Sure.
So you're about 110 feet away from the water. The ballistae, Penny's mounting it, so unless one of you wants to kick her off, she's just going to man the ballistae. That's her job, basically. The rest of you will have to determine whether you want to jump down and help, or whether you just want to sit on top and not worry about it. As I'm only going to roll initiative for things that can affect you guys, but then there will be this. You can see, by the way, there's about 3-4 dozen of these fish creatures, but many of them are attacking, like trying to climb up the pillars, up ladders to get to the settlement, and the orcs and tritons are fending them off as well. So it depends on how much you engage with. Okay, so Ayla, initiative 9. Quill,
6.
6. Nova,
11.
very good. It's going up. Lucius,
11.
wow. Sentry,
13.
well, Sentry, rare top of the initiative. And then Penny will be at a 19.
Interested to see what
Mara
Ayla
and the
can do
crew
here.
are at 21. The Sahaugen
There's about a
at
400-foot range on
like
that.
3.
On the what, a middle finger?
Yeah.
Fuck up.
Super effective.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Hi!
I don't actually have.
Stop it! Oi! Nah!
I don't have a lot of long-range spells. I can message them.
Can you stop what you're doing immediately?
Okay,
Cease and desist.
so the first ones to go are actually the wolf pack. A bunch of them are go. I'm just going to make one attack roll for them, but I'll multiply the damage, like depending on if they hit. But I'll reduce their attack modifier because there's lots.
Oh, they're using bows, yeah.
Yeah, so they all have like longbows. It seems that basically the longbows are stored in the ship, but most of the time they just carry like weapons like scimitars and things like that. But they pull the longbows out and they begin firing down. But they need a target, so basically one of you will have to direct who they shoot at. Because they're waiting for like what they should make their priority.
I can do that.
Okay, so on Ayla's turn, you basically can say shoot at and then direct them, and then they'll make an attack against it.
Cool.
Okay,
That's pretty cool. Just point the finger.
yeah. Penny, however, Penny does know what she's going to shoot at, which is the giant fucking shark.
Yep.
Yeah, wise.
Penny's going to shoot the ballistic at that. She gets a natural 20. Jesus.
Wow.
Ballista as well. Oh man, she's going to take that shark in half.
So with the new rules, that's maximum damage on the dice of 4d10.
Whoa!
So 40 damage plus another 4d10.
Holy moly.
6,
Go, Penny!
16, 56 points of damage.
Wow.
Damn.
Does not kill the shark, however.
56, the second roll was garbage.
Yeah, it was pretty shit. So you watch as she kind of Luke in the Millennium Falcon style, like, I've got this one, and this giant ballista bolt just, and it just embeds into the top of this Jaws-like shark, and it just splashes around in the water. Blood begins pooling out of it,
Nice work!
and about 4 of these female Sahagin snap their eyes up towards the ship and begin pointing at the airship itself.
This airship's awesome.
I mean, you've also, like, I literally rolled a natural 20. Like, that's...
The airship's
don't
awesome,
expect
Mark.
that to happen all the time. Sentry, what would you like to... Oh, no, sorry, the giant shark. Cool. The giant shark is smart enough that it knows it can't attack something in the sky. And it just goes on a rampage, and it tears through about a quarter of the boats that are still remaining.
Quarter?
Yeah, it just like, in one bite, it just wrecks these orc boats. These aren't huge galleons. These are kind of like Polynesian style, like kind of two canoes with a large sail in between them. They're kind of short range shallows vessels. And you can see that there are a lot of coral shallows all around this area. And it just is like wrecks them and then swims over, wrecks some more. It also starts probably biting at the Triton woman. She has 2 Triton guards with her. One of them is just swallowed, just by this giant shark. If not killed quickly, this thing is going to destroy a large chunk of this settlement.
Well, I mean, the rate he's going,
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of time.
Sentry.
I want to cast Moonbeam on the shark, please.
So you just point off the deck of the ship, okay? And just this giant column, like an orbital laser.
Where'd you
Cool.
get Moonbeam from?
Got it
So
from
one of
my,
her paladins,
level ups,
oath spells.
Nat 20!
I don't want to ruin it. I don't think it's an
It's not an
roll.
attack. It's
It's
just
a saving
damage.
throw.
Just a saving throw.
Oh.
Con 13, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't want to ruin
I've gone
that moment.
anyway.
Hey, it's always exciting to get it.
I forgot it's a spell attack.
Some spells you can.
It's a 21. It's a 21 on the saving throw. So does it take half
Takes
damage?
half
though?
damage.
Yeah, half damage,
Look at this
2d10.
fucking moonbeam expert over here.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
So it takes half damage.
Wow, I didn't know you got Moonbeam. That's awesome.
11, 6,
Half it'll be 5.
5.
Round it down.
However, it's concentration, so you just can move the
do it
moonbeam and just do it
Yeah.
again. Like you can track it as a giant laser, basically.
Is it not just like a consistent laser? Or is
You
it?
can
Yeah,
move
it is. Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like.
can move it on.
or
Well,
you
my
can
spell
move-
attack is +5, so does that make it 10?
No, the spell attack
No,
is when
it's-
you're rolling to
Oh,
attack
yeah.
with a spell.
Yeah.
So it's a
I
saving
forget
throw,
spells.
or it takes half. If it's an attack roll, then
yeah.
you make it with a spell attack
Yeah.
bonus. Nice. Okay. So yeah, you kind of this giant laser hits the shock, and it just seems to enrage it further. It just kind of begins thrashing around. Frustrated, it can't get to the source of what's hurting it, so it's taking its rage out on everything else around it. Then we go to Lucius and Nova at the same time.
Do you want to go first or?
I'm going to assess if there's anything within range that can get hit by a firebolt.
What's the range on Fireball?
120 feet.
So yeah, you can basically target anything. There are the priestesses, which you can now identify these feminine Shahorgan, which are using magic.
It seems like they're some form of leadership,
They definitely appear to be the ones calling the shots, yes.
in which case I will aim for one of them
Okay.
with my firebolt
Okay.
spell attack, which is an 18 plus
Oh, that's easily a hit.
6.
Easily a hit.
All right, and then it's 2d10. That's a 7 points of fire damage.
So one of them is blasted by this beam of light, beam of fire, or like this bolt of fire. She shrieks and kind of throws herself in. The burning bolt just kind of scorches the back of her head, leaving her singed but not too badly injured. And then she kind of...
I'll shout to anyone nearby to focus on them.
Okay. So you just
any of
shout
the other
out to
crew.
the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Focus on the priests, like female fishies.
Do we
Nova?
get a retort for Lucius shouting that?
Sure, you can shout back what you want.
The shark's destroying everything. Might be good to get that down.
He's just misunderstood. Sharks aren't naturally
Nova.
aggressive.
I'll attack the shark with Eldritch Blast.
Disobeying your
Okay.
captain.
Oh, I am disobeying my captain. Yeah, no, she wouldn't disobey the captain.
Okay.
She'd attack. So can I shoot
Same
the
one?
same one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, range on the spell is okay?
120.
Yep, you're good.
No, I disagree with the captain too.
2 beams. 13 plus 7 on 1.
Yes, hits.
And 7, 8, 9, 10,
11.
11.
The 11
The other.
misses,
Okay.
but the other one hits. So 1d10.
What just roll that?
I just rolled.
You rolled an 8
For
though.
the other ones.
Roll an 8.
An 8?
8.
8 damage?
8.
Nice. That also like strikes in, and the priestesses. It's like they've got one Sahorgan controlling the shark, and then the priestesses are riding behind it like little jet skis, like flying around.
Nice.
It's very Waterworld. And she kind of clutches towards the front one, and the Eldritch Blast does hit her, but not with as much force to kill her, but definitely injures. On their turn, the 4 priestesses are all going to point up at the airship, which they sense as the biggest danger, and they all cast Guiding Bolt at max level.
Can I counterspell?
You can counterspell one of them.
I'll
there are 4
counterspell
of them.
one.
Okay, so one of them just goes. So there's 3 more Guiding Bolts incoming.
I'm assuming they're not acid or
Cool.
cold.
Well, we'll find out what that does next time because we've got donations
That's
to
going to be a
read.
huge amount of damage.
what?
What's max level?
3rd for them.
Okay.
Well, we got one.
Okay, we're
now.
dead, by the way. That's a lot of
Well,
damage.
we'll find out next
The ship
week.
has hit points.
Oh, we're going to find out next week. I know it does. Not next week. Because you're laughing.
We're away!
We're being wizards in field.
Lil!
So we'll find out in 2 weeks
In 2 weeks, what happens?
to find out if the ship
Ship's already dead.
crashes and burns from a million 3rd level guiding bolts.
Maiden Voyage. Void and Mage.
Void and Mage.
What's your fine? Let's have a look. What's your armor class? Okay, AC 13. That's not that hard to hit.
Alright, it's a big ship.
300 hit points though.
Yeah.
But
fine.
if you take too much damage in one go, it can cause problems.
Not my engines!
Your engines.
Not my engines!
We'll find out in 2 weeks.
I just realized Eldritch Blast from the ship is kind of like a phaser beam.
Kind of is, yeah.
Phasers! Fire phasers!
Quill's
Gonna
little
rattle
Quill's,
through
yeah.
because we got
gotta
another
go.
thing today.
Yeah.
But Quill's guiding bolts are like photon torpedoes, Ken.
Before we get into donations, please head over to twitch.tv/DND because we will shortly be starting our other campaign.
But people might be streaming on there, so be nice, say hello.
Nice.
Don't be rude assholes. Thanks.
Cool.
Samwise2450 after weeks I'm finally caught up and can't wait for this. Oh hey Mark.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Thanks very much. Frank the NPC with a
Oh, no, thank you.
Hello, boys and girls, it's been a very long time. Episode prediction, leaving on their new airship, Lucius is overthrown as captain by the ghost of Smeek. Upon defeating Lucius, Smeek goes on to become Smeek, the Black Scourge of the Skies. Oh, those wacky
Oh,
sloths.
those wacky sloths.
I keep forgetting about Smeek, I gotta remember him. I need a little note that reminds me.
No.
Singing at the Bird. Hello all, it's the VOD Squad for
Singing
tonight.
Artbird.
Singing Artbird as I'm moving into my university accommodation and I'm nervous as shit. But watching you guys always helped and you guys always put a smile on my face. Have a good game and happy rolls.
Thank you for your art as
funny.
You'll
well.
be fine, have fun. Mia Kitty, can't watch the live again, but take my money anyway. Excited to watch when I have time. Good luck in both sessions today. Thank you very much, Mia Kitty.
Thank you.
The Matster 13. Hey guys, just wanted to say I've started a community project to create music for High Rollers
Nice.
based on themes I've made. I've already got a few responses. If people want to know more, it's in the High Rollers subreddit. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
check it out. It's actually really cool.
Thanks very much, Matster. BDU Woof. Hello everyone, welcome back to High Hours, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast in the world of Aerois, done by Dungeon Master Mark Sherlock Holmes, with me, Tom, playing Quirik and Koa, the Bard Quirik.
Thank you.
BDU Woof. I realised that was what the name was afterwards. Zelda Zorian, hey, I'm going to be going to uni soon and was worried about making friends, but I found a wonderful uni D&D group chat. Now I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So some also watch The Amazing High Rollers and I've been recommending you lot to the rest. Thanks for being amazing. Hey, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice.
Hal40k, thank you very much. Woo, High Rollers time. Thanks for the Sunday fun. Thanks very much. Samwise, again, another done. I feel like High Rollers has taken over my life. I went to a restaurant for breakfast, and when I was given my plate, it was a warm plate, and it was amazingly warm plates are the best. I need everywhere. I need everywhere. Warm plates.
Warm plates.
My God, a fish. VOD Squad for me today as I'm out playing D&D. Love the show and love everything you guys do. You put a smile on my so many faces, including my own. PS. Tom, hope you dealt with your flooding issue as someone at your age shouldn't be dealing with these problems. Lol.
Yeah, I flooded my bathroom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Whoops.
Daft Day 41. LA and Seattle in 1 year. Now that our favourite Tom on High Rollers has made it big, does that mean we can finally retire Justice for Hazel?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe we can, actually. I mean, after your tirade earlier, I think Justice for
No,
Hazel
that
needs
was
to stick.
deserved.
It wasn't deserved.
Good old C. Great meeting you lot at YogCon over a month ago now. I was the one cosplay as Caleb, the one that gave the original
Nice.
HR dice.
Yeah.
Hope they're rolling well for you. I'll catch
are
up on
very
YouTube.
well.
Thanks very much. Good old C. Nightjar, sweet Nightjar, heart, thanks very much.
you.
Thank you.
Sapphire1, hey my dudes, didn't get around to donating last stream, but I want to thank you for playing my music. Mark's storytelling and all your playing is a great muse. Stream was great this week and fan music was fucking A too. Enjoy LARP, thanks very much.
Thank you, Zeph.
Meta Manu, thanks for the donation. Sweet Manu.
$250.
Bayfeather, Chris Crotch, $10. Chris Crotch. Adam, love y'all. First live stream I've caught. Big thanks from an amigo in South Texas. Woo! Thanks,
Hey,
man.
amigo.
New Alex, yay for books and maps. Try not to get this library set on fire this time, guys. Thanks very much.
We'll try.
Varys,
It will happen next episode.
donated but no message. Ace of Thorns, hugs. I hope I get this one in.
You did.
Did it.
Well done.
And with that, we're done. We're going to head over to twitch.tv/D&D.
Yes.
Play some Lightfall Descent.
2 more rounds of D&D.
go.
Let's do it.
See you
Let's
there.
go.
Bye.
See ya. Goodbye.
Bye.